In 3, 2, 1. Yo, everyone, you're listening to Filmmaker Mike and the boys. Joining me for this episode is Kuya.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And Pinhead.
I gotta give a little soundbite from a blast from the past. Let's do it.
There we go. What's the drink for tonight?
Blue Moon and vodka. So it's gonna be a wild night tonight. Let's go. Especially after a really good UFC fight. They did a great job today. I was very pleasantly surprised. So
Nice. So who fought?
Some two bums that were supposed to be like big bulls that I don't know of, but I can never pronounce her name. But Andrew, Jessica or whatever her name. She's like some straw weight. She's one of the most vicious bitches on planet Earth. She retired tonight because she lost to some Chinese chick, like some other Chinese chick who's like a beast. She's a fucking beast. They had a fight earlier. I don't know if it was like a year or two. It was like 2 years ago at the very most, and it was. Many people said that it was like the greatest, not only the greatest female fight of all time in MMA, it rivaled a lot. They were right. It rivaled a lot of the George St. Pierre's and shit like that. But this one ended shortly because she got a fucking spinning elbow to it knocked her fucking out. And I got to give her credit because as she was going out, she was still swinging as she went down, but it knocked her unconscious. She was punch drunk and she retired. So,
Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. So
it was a great fight. And then the upset heard around the world, we forgot the Russian bitch. She's supposed to be one of the baddest people on planet Earth. So, Amelia, I can't do these names because they're insanely ridiculous names. So
yeah, well,
but
alrighty.
it was a night of upset. So let's get to it.
Alrighty. So from female UFC fights, Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 4. We are now more than halfway through the season. Perhaps it may be the one and done season, but now there's word and rumors that we may get a second season. So we're still waiting. I guess.
Well, I mean, we went from female UFC to female Obi-Wan. We're good. It's a good transition.
Yeah. So part 4, 38 minutes. Obi-Wan plots a mission, and of course, that mission is to save little Leia yet again. Of course, from last time. But hey, I really enjoyed the episode. I liked it. And it seems like they're doing the reference, like episode 3 was like a duel, kind of like what happened in Revenge of the Sith. Also, episode 3 and now episode 4, going with the theme of rescuing Leia from the Inquisitorius, which we now have seen more of, which I thought was awesome. So I really love the beginning opening scene with Obi-Wan in the bacta tank and having flashbacks of his duel with Vader and of course Vader burning him, and the duality and them showing Obi-Wan in the bacta tank, and then it transitions to Vader. I thought was cool. And then as soon as Obi-Wan wakes up, of course, the first thing he asks Tala is, "Where is Leia?" And of course, Leia has been captured by Reva. And I really, after seeing this performance of Moses Ingram as Reva, it's pretty obvious now. It's pretty clear. There's a lot of nuances in her performance where she's hesitating about torturing a kid because it reminds her of herself when she was that young. But there's a lot going on there in the scene. I've rewatched those scenes a few times, and it's really fascinating. So now it's definitely pretty clear that Reva, maybe she may not necessarily switch over, but she will eventually aid Obi-Wan, help Obi-Wan, interfere, and somehow help Obi-Wan and maybe even help Leia. Or not help Leia, but because Leia already got away. Never mind. they got to rescue Leia. But I thought it was very interesting. It's very clear now that with that character, she's gonna have a change of heart at some point, because there's also when she realizes Tala was a spy, and she basically betrayed the Empire. She asks her, "Was it worth it for an old man and a little girl?" So, and Tala tells her, "This is not who I am, or this is never who I was," something to that effect, which is very clear of Riva, of course, when she was a kid, because she was a young Jedi Padawan.
Allegedly.
Well, it's pretty clear that's her at the beginning. I mean,
that's the expectations of the fans, right? So,
well, I mean, they wouldn't put that girl there at the very beginning if that wasn't her. I mean, or they won't call back to that, right?
I
I don't
also
know.
would be remiss to not put this out there, but there's a pretty substantial rumor, and it's almost to a point where it be fact, that Kathleen Kennedy really wants a Riva spinoff series. So
I've
we have
read
to
some stuff
also
about that.
we
Yeah.
also, regardless of if it's yet to be confirmed or denied yet, we haven't heard it, but we still have to take that into account as we head into the penultimate episode leading into the finale. That's all I'm saying. So
Yeah. Interesting when Riva is interrogating Leia and she's trying to probe her mind. Leia, of course, resists Riva's mind probe, because, of course, she's strong in the Force. And there was a lot of speculation that Riva would find out that Leia was somehow connected to the prophecy or whatever that Obi-Wan is watching. But then I'm glad that they didn't do that, just because I think it would there'd be too much going on. But I really like the performance as well of little Leia in this. I was really impressed with her. I guess a lot of people are not liking her performance, the kid's performance, and I'm like, I've enjoyed her performance since the beginning.
She's exactly what Leia or Carrie Fisher is or was in
Right.
as Princess Leia.
Yeah.
She's very cunning. She's very they're over here, but really it's like she's like, I'm not gonna tell you nothing. So
Right.
I just don't get why some fans are hating on
Well, I think it's not the character, it's more the performance of the child actor, which I'm like, she's doing great.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you expect from a kid? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, the expectations are so high.
But that's the thing though. She's acting exactly like how Princess Leia is supposed to act at that age. Very,
right.
very, very plucky, very headstrong, very stubborn, very forward, and that's basically how she grew up in Alderaan. As a future senator, as a future, as a princess in Alderaan, she had everything, her way pretty much every single time.
Yeah.
And this is the times where she realized that it's the world or the universe is bigger than her, that she needs to take care of the people. That's where her heart is going to be showing, within the next few episodes, hopefully, that she'll realize that yeah, it's cool to be to be a princess or anything like that, but there's a lot more bigger things than me. So
well, there's also an unfair expectation of a lot of people going, well, she doesn't embody Carrie Fisher. She's not supposed to.
no, she's not.
She's supposed to
Fisher's different.
embody a young Leia, not Carrie Fisher. And you got, and this goes back to why I get tired of Space Wizard fanboys, because they push this shit. She's not supposed to embody Carrie Fisher. She's supposed to embody a young Princess Leia, and she's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. She's not fucking a young what's her name, Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. She's like, actors like that don't, young child Macaulay Culkins, they don't exist anymore. You guys were lucky to get Millie Bobby Brown and that whole cast of fucking. That's the last. I hate to break this to you guys. That's the last bastion of true badass kids. We're gonna start seeing a lot of grot in child actors because the wells run dry, and other things we won't have to mention. But the whole point is you the people that are mad about this little girl. I mean, if you don't like her, that's fine. But if you don't like her because she doesn't embody Carrie Fisher, like I said, that's not what this is about, and you need to move on or get out. Because that's not what this little girl's doing. And not for nothing, she's doing the best she can do for the material she's given. It's not like she's throughout the entire show. She's sprinkled throughout the entire show. So what do you want from her?
Yep.
Any actor, whether they're child or adult, can only do the best from what material they're given.
Do we know how old the young lady is, Mike?
She's currently 9 years old.
Okay.
So
when has fucking 9-year-old kids that you guys know ever been so eloquent and so fucking
She would have been probably around 8 when they filmed this, because they filmed this last year.
Yeah. So again, this is the fandom, like some of the fandom that the one that just wants to complain because they have they're privileged to complain because they want to complain. It's not how they pictured it. It's not their expectation. It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be that. You guys are getting a fucking show that's amazing, and a lot of people are enjoying it, and you just want to nitpick every single thing. And I never got that. And I understand, like, if people find it find this episode not as entertaining as the other ones, or if it's too slow because they like me, for example, all I wanted was like fucking lightsaber fights everywhere. But am I bitching and complaining about like the dialogue? Am I bitching and complaining about the story or where it's going? No, because again, I'm entertained because Star Wars, the people that are in charge, Filoni, Favreau, I guess Kathleen Kennedy, Deborah Chow, is that her name, the
Yeah, she's the
director?
director. Yep.
Yeah, she they provided this platform for young kids and for fans, and even fans of old, to find out like what the fuck happened to Obi-Wan, during the times when he was like in seclusion. I had like imagining, I had stories in my head of like what the fuck he did. And never did I picture him like becoming a sushi chef. Never did I see him like like cutting himself off from the force, just because of whatever. Because
And real quick, not to cut you off, Kuya, I just had to get this because it was driving me crazy. I was talking about Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. You cannot expect this girl to be Judy Garland. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore, so
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, she's a once in a generational talent. And again, no, you can't expect that from everybody. That's expecting a lot. And I appreciate like where she's going with the character. She took over the character. She embraced it. Like basically, they probably just told her this is what Princess Leia is supposed to be, and go with it. Right? Like that's basically what just go with it. And then Princess Leia is very chatty. Princess Leia is very forward, very demanding, very headstrong. But she's also very sensitive. And isn't that what the little girl is?
Yeah. So I do want to correct you though. Obi-Wan did not cut himself from the Force. Not like Luke. Not like Luke.
Sure.
Well,
okay.
You want to know why?
Okay, sure.
He's speaking to Qui-Gon. He's talking to Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon hasn't responded to him, is he?
Right, but him talking to Qui-Gon is showing that he hasn't cut himself off. He just hasn't used it. He hasn't used the Force because he hasn't seen any action in 10 years. But he's speaking. He's actually talking. He's trying to speak to Qui-Gon, it's not like Luke where Luke just disconnected completely.
Potato. I mean, that's basically it's whatever. But you understand what I'm saying? Like he hasn't used the force in forever. So that's why he's having a hard time now that he flexed he worked out a little bit. He flexed his muscle. He dragged that little thimble of a fucking whatever piece of thing that he had. He tried to
Right.
drag it across the table. Now he's like, oh, I'm force ready now. Now I can stop like an ocean from a crack, which he did.
Right. And that's why I thought it was interesting because you and Jester were saying, oh, he needs a warm up. He needs a warm up.
Yeah, that's probably the warm up is like
This was the perfect warm up for him because
Yeah.
he's still emotionally unstable and kind of not ready to face Vader again, right?
Mhm.
Because when at the beginning of the episode we see that and he has the
Yeah.
flashbacks. He even asks if Vader is on the Inquisitorius base, and they say I think it was Tala or someone else says no, he's not, but he's nearby. Vader is nearby. It's I think is it Mur or something, the moon,
Yeah.
the water moon on the Mustafar, or they even call it Vader's system. So yeah, I thought it was interesting because he got the perfect warm up here because by the end when he's fighting the stormtroopers and he's swinging that lightsaber, it gave him the warm up that he needed to get back into action. Because of course in the last episode when he was facing Vader, he was not ready. He was running away. I also, so speaking of nitpicks, I get it. I'm a fan too. I will also notice stuff, but when I watched this episode, I was enjoying myself,
Mhm.
and I'm sure when other people watched it a second time, a third time, a lot of people really nitpick the crap out of this episode. When Obi-Wan is swimming underwater to infiltrate the base, when he gets in the base and basically like gets one of the troopers, everyone's saying like, "Oh, he's dry. He's looking so dry." Like he wasn't.
His clothes were fucking wet. Did you see how dark like his
right. Well,
suit was?
right. Well, that's
He's
the
not
thing.
dripping wet, but like he was wet.
Right. And who's to say there wasn't a dryer right there? Because I don't know. There's water right there. Why would it? In the first, was it? Yeah, in the Last Jedi, when wasn't it Finn and Rose was infiltrating the First Order ship,
Yeah.
Snoke ship? There was a fucking steam ironing First Order uniforms. So why wouldn't there be a dryer of some sort? It's just small things like that.
Right,
And then-
or like he can force fucking the water out of his
exactly.
clothes.
Why not? Right? Why not? Because he was already using.
But
the force,
again, this is part of the issue with the generation now, and the shit that's happening with the superhero movies, that you're getting spoon fed information. That people can't imagine shit anymore. Like they're like, oh, like it has to be explained.
everything
It has to
be
be somebody.
spelled out.
Yeah, somebody has to tell me why this is. Otherwise, it'll break the continuity, and it's bullshit. No,
Right.
like people need to stop that shit. Like I'm like, if people found this boring because like there's too much dialogue and there's not a whole lot of action, then I understand completely. That's fine. That's all on them. But like if they want to nitpick like, because like fucking like if people are like because like Obi-Wan's you know suit isn't as wet as it's supposed to be, like who's to say like like the fucking thing is like hella warm and everything evaporates everything over there, right?
Well, yeah, that's right. So I also love there's a scene where he's trying to hide, like get away. I was hoping he was going to get in stormtrooper armor
Mhm.
because like Luke and Han in A New Hope, I was hoping he would do that so he could actually go incognito within the base because he's in his stormtrooper armor. But that's fine. Like it didn't happen. I really like the part where he's trying to hide away from some stormtroopers, and he uses the Force.
The Force knock.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, which happened in A New Hope, which he also did in A New Hope, which I thought was a great callback. I really enjoyed that. And then, really interesting when he stumbles upon the Jedi tomb. one of the first Jedi that he sees is actually a Jedi from the Clone Wars, which is Tara Sinube, who's an older Jedi. But that was a great episode because I think it was Ahsoka that was interacting with that.
Yeah,
Jedi.
it was Ahsoka and the librarian.
Yeah,
So,
in Jocasta Nu. Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. And then
He,
there's
he was a
other,
badass too in the Clone Wars.
right.
For an old guy, right? Like, I never like I have this like, affinity and love for like older characters. Like you can see in my background right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like I love characters that are old, that are because I'm old. So I'm just like happy
Aren't
to
we
see like,
all?
yeah, I'm just happy to have like, older people, like, saving, sometimes helping out, save the day and say so. So it's kind of cool to have that homage. And I actually remembered that episode because as soon as I saw the character, I was like, holy crap, is the old dude from Clone Wars.
Yep. And
So
he also sees other Jedi who
mhm,
I wasn't even sure are, but
mhm,
and then we also see one of the Padawans.
yeah. Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out the identity of the young Padawan, right?
Uh-huh.
I assumed it was the kid that was like talking to Master Anakin,
Uh-huh.
and during the episode 3.
Uh-huh.
Like when he was like, oh, Master Anakin, so whatever. I thought it was that kid, but like a lot of people on the internet saying it's somebody else.
Right. It is. It looks like somebody else because the kid, if you look at the face,
Mm,
right on his ears, it looks like he has like some kind of small antennas coming out of his ears,
okay.
in front of his ears. Yeah. So it's not a human kid. It looks like an alien kid.
No, but he
Um,
looked pretty human to me. But like as soon as I saw the freaking helmet, I was like, oh,
right.
it's like, oh, it's the kid from episode 3.
Right. And I guess the speculation with that is why they have a Jedi tomb there of who knows how many Jedi they have there is they are performing experiments on Jedi.
Yeah,
And I guess it's connecting somewhat to Mandalorian when they stumble upon that base and
yeah,
there's some kind of cloning or whatever experimenting because they like with Grogu they were trying to experiment and they were trying to check his blood for midi-chlorian count.
yeah. So you think they're in suspended animation or anything like that, or like
That's a good
because
question.
it's in it looks like in amber, right?
Right. I think they're dead.
Oh, you think they're dead?
I think so. I mean, I don't know how they would just be, in suspended animation and then they bring them back to life or something. Like, I think they're dead.
Okay.
They're somehow, or maybe they performed experiments on them while they were alive, and then since they died, they're like
Mm-hmm.
Vader's like put them all in fucking cases, put them all in amber instead of carbonite. They're like in amber. That's what everyone is saying. It looks like the bug from Jurassic Park.
I know, right?
Jedi.
That's what it looked like to me. So I was like thinking to myself, well, maybe they're like extracting like DNA or whatever
Right,
from them and
right.
shit. So
Who knows at this point? But yeah, Palpatine, because even in the Clone Wars, he loved to. He had a lab of some sort on Mustafar, performing experiments on force sensitive children, and we even heard that reference in the previous episode when Leia asks what happens to these force sensitive children, and Tala says no one knows, no one ever sees them again. Leia is basically pushes Reva to have Reva and have her tortured. So they put her in the torture rack, and then I love that scene because Obi-Wan comes to her rescue, and it's dark. It's a direct visual homage to The Force Unleashed 2.
mhm.
That was really awesome because Starkiller did the same thing. It's almost the same exact thing where Starkiller is basically killing off stormtroopers as he's escaping from an Imperial base. Here
I
we
saw the
have
tweet.
Obi-Wan.
I saw that tweet that Starkiller did
Yeah,
saying he's like, oh, copying my moves or something like that.
yeah, yeah. Yep, Sam Witwer himself. And then a lot of people bumped into when they were getting away, when Obi-Wan finally gets Leia, they're getting away with Tala. A lot of people had a big problem with Tala when she hits the stormtrooper on the helmet because it looks
Right.
like she just slaps him, and the other one, like she pulls the helmet. Like people are having a big problem with that just because, like, look at this choreography, look at this travel, and I'm like, well, if I was wearing a helmet and somebody like slapped the shit out of the helmet on my head, that would hurt a little bit. And if someone pulled the helmet, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, why wouldn't that, why wouldn't that hurt, or like at least like get off guard?
apparently these so-called fans are writers and acting teachers, and now they're fight coordinators as well.
Choreographers. Yeah. And that's the thing. Here's my in-universe explanation for it though. These are not clones. They are not elite fighters. These are conscripted humans from around the galaxy. And that's why in A New Hope and the original trilogy, they're bad shots because they're not clones. They don't have Jango Fett's DNA. They're not highly skilled fighters. So yeah, they're trained, but then that only goes so much, and that's the reason why they're grunts as well. They're stormtroopers. They're not
there's a difference between the Iraqi Republican Guard and the regular Iraqi army.
There you go.
So there you go.
Another thing that people are like having a big problem with is Obi-Wan walking with Tala and having that coat and putting Leia under the coat. Now, if you remember, actually, a lot of people are not referencing this because I don't think a lot of people remember. A few scenes before that, there is an Imperial officer with a big-ass coat walking, and no one is paying attention to him. And I think they purposely put that in there so that it would later reference when Obi-Wan is walking. Yeah, he's got a child under this coat, but no one's going to be paying attention to them in the first place because everyone's distracted. They're looking for the Jedi and the kid. You know what I mean?
So producers, writers, acting coaches, fight coordinators, and now fashion coordinators.
Everything. Okay. Like, can we just enjoy? I mean, I get the nitpicking to a certain extent, but it's got a little too far.
Just stop already, right?
Yeah.
And then, we haven't even talked about like the biggest like question, this is kind of the expectation that we were talking about this last week about Quinlan Voss.
Right. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is not Quinlan Voss, but he's one of the guys helping.
Yep.
And they're basically smuggling Jedi through the path.
And the cool thing is, like, he called Obi-Wan General Kenobi.
Right.
So that means he knew of him from the wars.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
So I don't know what his role is or whatever, because like I remember his tweet when he says like, you wait till they find out about me or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that means he has like a bigger part than what everybody whatever.
Right, because he has we have 2 more episodes, so a lot can still happen in the next 2 episodes. And then of course I love that they use the air speeders to rescue Obi-Wan and Tala and Leia. Mm-hmm. And then even with that, it never fucking ends. For whatever reason, this episode, everyone was like complaining and whining. Technically, because you cannot fit, because in Empire, we can only see a pilot and a gunner in the snow speeder. You technically can't fit a small child in there, which is like, why wouldn't you be able to fit she's a small child. You even see how small her hand is when she holds Obi-Wan's hand at the end of the episode. Like, you see how small, it's not like 3 adults. It's 2 adults and a small child. Why wouldn't she be able to sit on his lap?
Tala would be sitting on Obi-Wan's lap, and then Leia would be sitting on Tala's lap.
Or why wouldn't they have jerry rigged it and made more space? I mean, come on, like, really?
Like, I mean, and also
and that's what you're bumping into.
And also, before they used the speeders as any as like fighters, didn't they say that the speeders were there to smuggle people or to smuggle goods?
Right.
So that back end might be like, instead of like a gunner, it might be like a supply, like a trunk.
Exactly. They would have had more space to transport goods
instead of adding the gunner, right?
Right. And because it's a very quick shot, but in the back you can even kind of see it's been modified. So obviously, like, there's got to be more space there. Just if they're smuggling Jedi through the path and they're using that, they're most likely using those speeders. So yeah, there's that. And then I like that Reva was, I was thinking like, oh, she's probably gonna get him, and then when the speeders come to the rescue with Wade who I was like, who's Wade? Like, that's the one thing. Like, I don't give a shit about Wade. Like, he didn't do anything special. Like, but they
Yeah,
made
oh,
it.
let me distract them a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
let me stay here. And then like the girl said, "Wade, let's go. We're
yeah,
done."
right,
Like, no, let me just whatever. He could have lived, but no,
right.
he wanted to be he wanted
You know
to play
why? Because
hero.
he didn't listen to the woman.
Nope.
See,
Oh,
women's intuition. When they tell you something, you better keep an eye on it and listen because
yeah,
they know.
like
He knew.
like
Maybe
you
she's
know
force sensitive.
he didn't realize that the fucking Reva had like a rocket arm like fucking Michael Vick. You know what I mean? Jeez. She threw that canister like it was nothing, man.
Right. And then, of course, we get a scene of Vader being pissed off, of course, because Reva let Obi-Wan go when she should have captured him. And I thought that was it. She was gonna get killed. But of course, she tells him, "I let them go, or
On
tracking them."
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. And Vader says, "Well, how certain are you?" And then she says, "Of wherever he goes, it will follow." And of course, it's Lola,
Mhm.
Leia's droid,
Did,
LOA 59.
did
So
you see how fast Vader was walking?
yeah,
Like he was fucking pissed,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah, yeah,
I've never seen him that mad before. Like I was like, wow. Like I was like that's kind of like my favorite scene of the episode was like the fact that he was like walking, and then as
right,
soon as as soon as the door opened, he just fucking force choked her,
right.
and I was like, wow,
And
yeah, that
fucking
escalated quickly.
fifth brother, you can see the smirk on his face, like,
And then
yeah,
he was like,
I'll
yeah,
fucking kill her.
yeah,
I'll
do it,
be next in line.
do it, do it.
But yeah, I,
But,
I love Sung Kang's performance as the fifth brother. I think he's great. I love the voice too, and that they kind of like digitized or did something with his voice to have like that low bass. That was really cool. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the episode. Looking forward to the fifth episode. Any other thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4? You
it,
guys good?
it's this is like an episode that's kind of like you would actually enjoy it if you're enjoying the story as a story, and not like assuming things. If a lot of people or if a lot of fans are assuming like this is what's going to happen, they're going to have this, they're going to do this, and it doesn't happen for you, then you'll be disappointed. That's what happens, right? um
And the expectations. If your
oh yeah.
expectations are also
Like,
way too high,
yep.
you know what I mean? Like,
Because they're entitled because they know the lore, they understand that they can predict where the writers are going to go. Unfortunately, the writers, they don't give a shit what you think. They're gonna write the story that as they want to tell it, because they promised George Lucas that they're gonna set right uh with the story of the space wizards, and that's what they're doing. Whether the fans agree or disagree, they're gonna do the same story, or they're gonna do the story the way they're supposed to do it, not because the fans demanded it or whatever. It's because that's where it's supposed to go. Nobody is as clairvoyant as Mike in season 2 of The Mandalorian. No, nobody is that clairvoyant, but with Mike guessing, like, everything was fucking perfect when Mike guessed everything in season 2. But when people do this, when people assume and all that stuff, then they just turn into jerks, and they bitch and complain about everything. Like, and like, and then fake fans that just want social clout, because they think they're badasses, and they have authority and all that stuff. They think that their knowledge of Star Wars is awesome or super. uh
and they're expecting Star Wars to be Marvel
oh
and
yeah.
the MCU.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
like,
it
yes,
no.
you can kind of like what they're doing, like with Mandalorian and Book of Boba. They're connecting it. Yes, on that respect, it is like the MCU. But you cannot. This is Star Wars. It's still different from. You cannot expect the same thing from Marvel. It's
Yep.
different. Those are two different things. And
the
it's
the
not all
fact
cameos. It's not all about the cameos, which is
the
kind
fact
of sad that that's kind of the state of, part of the hype.
the fact that that guy said the story is supposed to be about uh Anakin and Obi-Wan, just the two of them, is fucking stupid in my opinion. That this is the event. This is what happened to Obi-Wan during the time when he was in seclusion. A lot of the shit happened. A
Right.
lot of things outside of his control happened.
It's a big galaxy.
Yeah. So for people to assume or to say that, oh, it's just supposed the story is supposed to be just for the two people, because we don't know the other people. We need an origin story for that, because so no, fuck that guy. So like I'm expecting, I'm expecting to be entertained again. And like I said, I've been entertained with these things. Like this one for me, like it was a little slower than the other episodes. And that's what I said, like when I first saw it, because like the 38 minutes that it was that it ran, it felt like longer to me. Because I was like, wow, it's fucking like,
Right.
I was looking at the time. I was, wow, it's over already. I
Yeah.
got that. But episode 5, if it's all fighting, if it's all shooting, if it's whatever, that's fine. If it's all talking, that's fine for me, with me too. So again, I've been enjoying seeing Obi-Wan, one of the more beloved characters of Star Wars, on screen. Um, and yeah, if there's a season 2, like, I guess, but it'd be kind of nice to just wrap it up in 5 and 6,
Right.
but we'll see. So, Pinhead.
I don't know. We'll wrap it up quick because we've been on this long enough. So, I've enjoyed this show for the first 3 episodes. I have no expectations. My expectations were already met. After this, I don't care. I have no expectations whatsoever. But I thought this episode was absolute mediocre trash. It was garbage. It was fucking trash. The directing was trash. The writing was trash. The only thing that really saved this episode, in my point of view, was the bond between Leia and Obi-Wan. We finally have a confirmation of trust, which makes sense. And like I was talking to Mike about this, I like that scene because it makes it, and this is why it can't be called a filler, so that we understand what fillers are, because a lot of brain deads like to say that fillers are episodes that are specifically there. That's why they're called fillers, to fill the gap between the next episode. This was dangerously close. However, this cannot be called filler because the relationship between Obi-Wan and Leia, young Leia, was established here, especially when they held hands, like, "Ooh, we're going to a picnic. Ooh, so cute and adorable." That establishes, even, I don't care if you call it lazy or whatever, it still establishes the fact that we understand why Leia in A New Hope has such a trust in Obi-Wan, and how she knows who he is. Maybe we'll get some more information, but we now understand, you know, why she trusts him so much in A New Hope. Because you could give the same criticisms to A New Hope. Well, who the fuck is this bitch, and why does she know who this guy is? We're now starting to fill in the gaps. So that's why I give this one a pass. On top of the fact that Vader came in and he had enough, and he choked the shit out of Reva, and he's like, "Bitch, get in gear." And it wasn't him trying to dominate her. If you actually pay attention to it, it was like him going, "Bitch, get your." That's why he gave her because Vader doesn't give people second chances.
Right.
Nope, never.
He gave her a second chance for a reason. It was literally, especially with James Earl Jones. It's like, "Bitch, get your shit together, do it, or next time you will be gone, because I know you can do this. If you can't, and you prove me wrong, we'll both be failures and you're gone." It's that simple. Get
Yep.
your shit together and get it done. That simple. And I like that scene. because not just because him choking her, but the way he presented it. And she's like, okay, now I need to get this done. Other than that, this episode was absolute grot. It was boring as fuck. It was fucking trash. I'm over this shit. I don't care about I don't want to hear this bullshit about, you need to do this and that. You don't need to be a writer, director, this, that, and the third to know that this is trash. There's a penultimate episode coming this Wednesday, and then there's the finale. I don't care if we get a second season or not. We're talking about this season. Just like The Mandalorian when we were talking about that season. Just like when we were talking about the Book of Boba Fett. I don't care if we get another season or not. I'm talking about this season. And the next 2 episodes, you step it the fuck up or step the fuck out. It's that simple. This was ridiculous. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't have any expectations. I don't give a fuck about the headcanon. I don't care about the nitpicks. The nitpicks are for... And I get it for you fans out there who are doing that, because I'm a Star Trek fan. Come over to our area. We have one good show right now. You all have a multitude of good. If you actually seek it out, you have a multitude of good shit in the current era. If you'd stop bitching and moaning. Us Star Trek fans over here, we got nothing but the new show. That's it. The rest is grot. I'd love to have what you guys have over there in Star Wars here in Star Trek. It would be phenomenal, but, beggars can't be choosers. All I'm saying is this episode was trash. Excluding the other 2 things that I enjoyed, we need to step it up Wednesday. If not, I don't give a fuck what the finale is. So that's my spiel. Thank you.
Alrighty. So a notable Star Wars fan personality, which I will not mention because he doesn't need
Grace Randolph?
No. He doesn't need additional promotion.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't Grace Randolph.
He's also very divisive in the fandom. I was listening to his podcast, and then he mentioned, because he was doing a live chat, and someone said, "Oh, you should be grateful," or something to that effect. You should be grateful because we have Star Wars. He's like, "No, I can't. Are you going to accept that? Would you be? It's like in a relationship. If the relationship is bad, or there's some bad stuff about the relationship, would you accept that?" I'm like,
yes.
Bitch, this is not a relationship.
That is the stupidest analogy I've ever heard.
Exactly.
This is not,
Exactly.
You cannot compare a toxic relation. You cannot compare a toxic relationship. You cannot compare any relationship to entertainment, for
Thank you.
Are you so goddamn brain dead?
That's the first thing that I
And
thought.
the reason why I'm getting angry is because internet wrestling fans do this shit all the God damn it, it's real to me. And they attack actual talent to the point where they'll go there and take a gun to their house and threaten them.
God.
This is insanity. You cannot make these comparisons. It's entertainment versus real life. Some of you guys need to get your fucking heads examined before you become the next shooter. Because that's insanity. I'm sorry, but that's crazy to me.
No, that's fine, and that's why
you cannot compare the 2.
I wanted to bring it up because when I heard it, I was like, you cannot put those 2 things in the same sentence because
exactly
it does not make sense.
It's ridiculous.
And like you said, we've had these conversations off the air. No one is holding a gun to every Star Wars fan's heads and Disney saying, you got to watch this or else.
Yeah.
You all have the and I know a fan, one of the guys who actually got me heavily into Star Wars back in '99 before the Phantom Menace came out.
You're welcome.
No, that was no, we didn't meet each other yet.
I'm just fucking with you.
That was a few years away.
You just had to.
No.
You just had to.
Yeah.
I just had to throw it there. I'm like, oh, you're welcome.
I remember
couldn't help
correctly, I got you to spend some money on the
No. Of course, man.
Yeah, but anyway, so this guy got me into Star Wars, collecting Star Wars action figures, and then really getting excited for the movie. He does not consider the sequel trilogy as part of his canon. It's 1 to 6, and that's it. And that's totally fine. I respect that because at least he saw it, he didn't like it, and that's fine. But there are these fans who are still watching whatever Disney is putting out as far as Star Wars, and then they make it seem like they're being tortured, they're being abused, and like, no, stop
Yeah,
it.
like
This is
we've
enough.
talked about, and like I said, like it's the same with the wrestling fans. No one is waterboarding you, putting a gun. No one's forcing you there. You're buying the tickets yourself. You're putting the time in yourself. This isn't Nazi Germany where you're being forced to go by the Gestapo. You're
Right.
doing it yourself. Stop it.
And people seem to forget you're essentially voting with your dollar.
Exactly.
If
Exactly.
you don't want to support a movie or you don't want to support
Then
a show,
don't buy it.
don't buy it, don't subscribe. But if you do, well, hey, you can't complain because you're putting more money into that service or that movie, or it's the same thing with collecting Funko Pops or action figures. There are these other collectors that complain and say, oh, they're just doing the same old shit. They're just repackaging, which is a big part of the toy industry.
But did you buy it?
They have to exactly, but yet you buy it. So it's either
So who's
you're
the
in
idiot?
or you're out. You can't have it both ways, right? You're in or you're out. You cannot have it both ways. So
No, but it's my privilege. That's what that's all I hear every time I see people complain online, or I hear people complain online. And like, that's all I hear. Dude, stop.
it's really fascinating because I mean everyone has their own different opinions, and I respect that. But for me, Star Wars is like my number one. So yeah, my bar in a sense is low. And when I'm watching Star Wars, I'm basically shutting off my brain in the sense that I just want to be entertained. I want to enjoy it. If I enjoyed it, that's the most important thing. Is if I enjoyed it. If I didn't enjoy it, I would clearly say I didn't enjoy this, or I really jumped into this because that did not make sense to me.
That's exactly what you said about the Rise of Skywalker. He said, like, I enjoyed the graphics. That's about it.
Well, I didn't say that.
That's what you said.
The beginning of the film, most of the beginning of the film, and towards the end. But there was some stuff that did not make sense.
Yeah, but
right?
Contrary to the popular belief, Mike is not a yes man. He doesn't like we talked about Gotham Knights, so let's not play this game here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that later.
Mike likes everything. He just he doesn't.
We just use that as a ploy because like he's the most positive out of everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same narrative of Mike loves everything. Is Pinhead, me, James hates everything. I hate everything.
No, you don't. You love horror.
Not anymore.
Oh wow.
Alrighty.
And by the way, before we move on, I just want to let this know for the viewers who will see this on the YouTube channel. I muted myself and I was pissed off, so I had to mute myself because the Red Sox lost. Speaking of, something I really love. So I had to mute it, but you'll see me flailing and but that's why it was muted, because I was using more profanity than this show deserved.
Yeah, for a second I was like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, that's explaining that. So now we can move.
Oh, Mike, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Since you're Jester's not here, and you're probably the only Star Wars expert now. Excuse me. In regards to Leia calling Obi-Wan Ben, that's what happened in A New Hope, right? It's Ben. Like she only knows him as Ben, not Obi-Wan.
Yes, she only knows him. But here, Reva tells Leia Obi-Wan is dead. So that's what a lot of fans were bumping into.
Okay.
And struggling with as far as the continuity, because in Leia's message, the holographic message that R2 records, Obi-Wan Kenobi, she addresses him as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Original Kenobi, right?
Served my father during the Clone Wars. It seemed like it was a very formal message and it seemed like Obi-Wan Kenobi to her was a separate person from a Ben Kenobi, believe it or not, right? But when Luke enters her prison cell and tells her, I'm Luke Skywalker, I'm here with Ben Kenobi, I'm here to rescue you, and she gets up and she's excited, Ben Kenobi, where is he? You know what I mean? So it's a different that's what some fans have brought up.
Okay.
And
Now-
and that's fine, but we also cannot bitch and moan until we're done. We have 2 episodes left. We don't know
Right.
how we're not done yet.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're done and if it's not rectified, fine. Bitch, moan, cry, shit your buddy Lee dungarees, rip a hole in your dirty huggies. But we're not done yet. So let's hold the harvest. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I want to see what happens in the next few.
So
And
do
that's the
I.
thing. A lot of people
Maybe at the end of maybe at
And
the end
I
of
hated this episode. I still want to see what happens.
no,
Yeah.
maybe at the end of season or episode 6 that they'll be like, or Bail Organa's like, oh, bye Ben. Like, why are you calling him Ben? He's Obi-Wan. Dun dun dun. There you go. That
Maybe.
fucking
But it still doesn't take away from the point we haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah.
stop bitching until we do.
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna bitch.
That's
I'm
simple.
entertained,
It's
so.
that simple.
Alrighty.
I got something to bitch about like later, like when we
So
go into
do
that
I.
topic.
That's
so.
why we need to move on. Let's
Okay.
go.
So
So-
from Obi-Wan Kenobi to the boys,
So, yay.
are
There you
you
go.
caught up, Pinhead, on the boys?
No, but it doesn't matter. I fell asleep at episode 3. So
Okay. Well, at least you got to episode 3. So
Well, I got to see the rave review that the dick explosion. So at least I'm caught up with that.
did it live up to the expectations?
No, I thought it was absolutely mediocre. It wasn't that bad. Like I don't understand why people. This goes back to the sadness once again. People, it's so gruesome. It's so violent. Like it was. I'm
It
not
wasn't.
doing it. I'm not gonna do it because if I do, I'll go into a 40-minute rant, and it looked fucking hokey. If that grossed you out, man, don't
Right?
come to the horror community, please. Just don't. Because there's PG-13 shit that I've seen that's far more. I'm done. I'm not gonna do it.
No,
I'm
no,
not gonna do it.
Pinhead. How big's your TV? How big's your TV screen?
Decent size. It's like what 55 something around there.
So how big was that dickhead? Like,
It was huge. It was huge, but it still doesn't matter. They're like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
I know.
about everybody hyped up how this was the most brutal, grotesque, offensive thing I've ever seen. Like I said, don't if you're saying that and you really truly mean it, don't come to the horror community. Not because you're not welcome, because you won't be able to handle it. That is mediocre compared to what we've seen in the horror.
That's
I'm
true.
not doing it. I'm not. A lot of you guys who think, look up a film, and it's on Tubi. You can look up a Monica Bellucci film called Irreversible, and there's a scene in there that you're really gonna love if you think this was grotesque, because that shit was grotesque. So
I've seen
that's
that.
all I'm saying.
I've seen that, Pinhead, and yeah,
I know you have, and that's what I'm
you're
saying.
100% correct.
And maybe you can argue, oh, you're desensitized.
No,
maybe, But
no.
God, it was. I would counter argue maybe a lot of the people who are uncomfortable have. I'm not gonna say the word, but maybe you don't like. I mean, it was far more brutal the fact that he was shrunk down and forced into ODing on cocaine than it was that he went into someone's penis.
That's true. Like when
Because
Butcher was like taking a baggie.
Yeah, like that was more brutal than him going into the Stranger Things walls of the penis, because that's what it reminded me when he went inside into the penis and we got into the walls. I was like,
upside
oh fuck, this is the void Stranger Things upside down, And that's why it didn't impress me, because I felt like I was in like a homosexual upside down world, which is fine, but it doesn't impress me. It doesn't make me cringe. It doesn't make me feel ugh. It does nothing to me. It doesn't impress me. It doesn't make me cringe. I just go, okay, upside down. Great. Let's move on. And then when he exploded, I was like, awesome. That's great gore effects. I'll give you that, but it doesn't impress me.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've seen much worse. It doesn't impress me. When you've seen a Serbian film, it doesn't impress me. So I'll leave it at that.
Alrighty. So episode 4 debuted. Probably won't spoil episode 4, just so you can at least catch
You
up with that.
can because the only reason I want to hear what you guys have to say because I kind of see where this is leading, especially with the Stormfront shit. The Stormfront shit was, I mean, you want to talk about brutal? That was more brutal than someone going like the way he treated. I was like,
Yeah.
this
depressed.
fucking show's nasty because it almost makes you sympathize with a fucking Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
Right? Right?
So, but go ahead. Just go ahead. Just
so
like,
real
they
quick, I need to air out some grievances with fucking Amazon Prime Video. Because y'all fucking
please
y'all
do. I
fucking
was
dropped-
hoping this would come. This rant
y'all
would come.
dropped 3
Finally.
episodes last week, and I'm like, great, let's go. So I'm watching it, enjoying it. And then episode 4, I get off work at midnight. I come straight home. I'm ready. I'm excited. I turn on The Boys, and
Nothing.
I get no episode 4. And I'm like, what the fuck? Reloading the app, nothing. So I go on Twitter. I tag Anthony Starr. I tag fucking Homelander and Amazon Prime Video and Kripke, I think the producer for The Boys. And I'm like, where's the episode, yo? You guys have been hyping it up. Because Kripke, the producer or the developer for the show, even like tweeted the day before with a short like trailer saying like, oh, tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow. Where's my episode 4?
Mhm.
I waited like 2.5 hours for it to show up. And then some people on Twitter said, oh, it's on Fire TV and Apple TV. And I'm like, I have an Apple TV. So I switch on the Apple TV, can't find it. And they're like, oh, search with Siri. I'm like, I don't have a new Apple TV. My Apple TV is like maybe 5 or 7 years old.
It wasn't on Fire TV. Also,
Really?
No.
It wasn't either.
No.
I guess some people could access it and most people couldn't.
Yeah.
So it was a hit or miss even then. So I'm like, I was going to go to bed frustrated because I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I want to watch this episode 4. It's the best time for me to watch these episodes at night when I get off work because everyone's asleep.
Mhm.
I can watch the gory, the bloody, all the shit, and I can react to it, without having to like alarm anyone, the kids or the wife, but I'm like, whatever. So when I wake up the next morning, of course, it's already there, but I'm like, I can't really watch this until later after work again, which I did. But episode
Yeah, I can just imagine your daughter coming in. What happened to Dad? What
Yeah.
happened to that man's pee-pee?
Yeah. I gotta say, if you're not looking at the episode descriptions, like within the last 2 seasons, you gotta check them out because there's always some Easter eggs in there. It's pretty hilarious. So episode 2 and 3, we didn't really go into much details, but of course a lot happens. It's Homelander's birthday in episode 2. I thought it was fucking hilarious that is that also the episode where or is that the first episode where goes to his daughter's birthday?
It was on the first episode.
Oh, that was the first. Okay. Yeah, but I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. That's right. Because
It's
there
the
was a big
17th
deal.
birthday party.
Yeah.
So in the
And they had a
description,
heart-to-heart. Him
yeah,
and his ex-wife. Yeah, that was the first episode.
yep. And then in the third, and then we have American Hero on VOT Plus.
Yep.
Starlight's ex-boyfriend who was in a boy band. I forgot the song, but it's fucking hilarious. So episode 4, spoilers, they fucking do that shit with A-Train. He's Kendall Jenner in a commercial.
Yep.
And he's handing his energy drink to a cop.
It's a reflection that, again, this is the genius of what the TV guy or the TV showrunners are doing right now.
Real quick, Kuya, you read the comics, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. thank you.
And they are completely away from the tangent of where the comics is at, just because of the fact that they made this decision that their commentary, because the Gareth Ennis, the creator of the comic book, his commentary was like how stupid superhero comic books are, and that's basically what he wrote. The Boys, like the show itself, is a commentary on how fucked up society is, and all of the dumb shit that we've been going through the past few years. It's coming to fruition right now. somebody of power, somebody who thought that they couldn't say anything, whatever, finally said something and said what the fuck they wanted, and then the people reacted. He's like, oh, he's one of us. He's telling it like it is, right? Does it
Wait,
remind you of
Gareth Ennis did The Boys?
Gareth Ennis? I believe is his name,
Yeah, he did The Boys.
as far as I know.
Okay, so and not to interrupt you, but that was the name I was trying to talk to you about the other day, Mike, about the Punisher run. He has the
Okay.
greatest Punisher run of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah, he got bored with the superhero genre, and that's why he wrote The Boys. So he just thought it was ridiculously stupid. That's why the Punisher was great, because it was very visceral. Because it's like he doesn't have any powers. Punisher has no powers.
Exactly. It's visceral and realistic to what would happen to that kind of person in that
Mhm.
era, as far as someone who loses everything.
Yep.
You know, he doesn't just eat bullets like the fucking Terminator in the original Marvel fucking comics,
Yeah.
or die by explosion. But I know. I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same guy, because now that I know he did that because he wrote my favorite Punisher run, now I'm gonna have to check out these comics.
The comics are, if people are grossed out by the show, the comics are way worse. There's
I love it. Now I have to. Now I gotta.
there's a lot of like really like what the fuck kind of moments in the show, and
Barnes and Noble,
or
here I come.
in the comic books it's basically the same, only worse. There's a lot more things. So I'm talking like I'm talking about the show right now in regards to like the society as a whole, like what they're doing, and how everything is like whatever, how the glamorization of superhero genres and movies and stuff like that, and things like this. And now we're coming to the era of like, oh, the white supremacy of like Stormfront and Stormwatch or whatever. And like it's very familiar from like years back, like just a couple of years back.
Yeah.
It's giving me like familiarity. The fucking thing about ending black crime, or crimes against black people, by giving him a fucking can of soda.
Yeah.
Like, that was hilarious to me. I'm a Pepsi drinker. When I saw that commercial, I wanted to fucking just like, you know what, fuck Pepsi, because that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. For a while I was making a joke. Oh, like I don't have any money, or like I haven't paid my bills, but let me open this can of Pepsi and everything will be fine. It's pretty stupid. And so that's basically what they're doing right now. It's going to the point right now that they're mimicking, they're copying every single thing. What's her name? Nadia. What's her the congresswoman name? But Nadia. Uh,
I just had it.
I don't know. But she's basically AOC.
Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria. She's
Victoria.
basically AOC, right?
No, I think she's hotter than AOC, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean, like the character,
I know,
the one that's
I
like
just had to
whatever,
put
whatever.
that out there.
What about the cameo of Charlize Theron in Dawn of the
I
Seven?
I know.
And then what's his name from Titanic? I say from Titanic. That's the first thing that the
Billy Zane. That
Billy
made
Zane.
my day.
Billy Zane.
Seeing Billy Zane, my boy from Critters, Titanic, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. When I saw that,
the Phantom.
the only
The Phantom.
so I'll say this, and I
Phantom.
texted this to Mike. The only thing that made me happier was the Starlight and him fucking to Billy Joel. I loved it. Uptown Girl, they were fucking. I loved it. That is romantic at its finest. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
And then
All right.
Huey getting splattered with
Yeah,
blood again. Like and then he fucking gets vomited on, but it never ends for Huey.
Yeah,
I know.
Huey.
He's like the fucking cum dumpster, the trash can. Like
Yeah.
He's the fluff. He's the fluffer. So that's basically.
Yeah.
No, this show again is pushing
He's
a lot of
Toad Boy.
buttons. it's pointing a fucking mirror in the face of America right now, and I love it personally. Like in regards to like what they're trying to do. Like they're making fun of the superhero genre, which is fine. I love people making fun of the superhero genre or any genre for that matter, as long as they do it right. Like it shows like the uh gunpowder, or was it gunpowder boy
Yeah,
or whatever.
gunpowder. Yeah.
Like he became a fucking NRA spokesperson. That's well,
Yeah.
that's kind of normal. That's
It's today.
yeah, it's today, right? So it kind of fits all of these things, these tropes that we have right now in society, and the fact that uh, Homelander has all the power now, has all the control. It reminds you of that a couple of years ago when people thought like they lost all the power because you know because this guy is out of control, and he can say and do whatever the fuck he wants, and he doesn't get punished by it. But like this episode shows how fucking powerful Stan Edgar was.
Yeah.
That performance by Giancarlo Esposito was fucking amazing at the end of the show,
Yeah.
when he went toe to toe in front of Homelander, somebody that can snap him in half, like for no
Yeah.
for no reason
I thought he
whatsoever.
was gonna get lasered in half.
Yeah,
when
and
when he turned
he
his
just
back.
looked at him, and he's like, "You lost your only chip.
Yeah.
Good luck, because
And
I'm the one that was protecting you. I'm
right.
the one that was like whatever. Now if you fuck up, that's on you. That's not on me.
You're simply bad product. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, and
holy
I was like,
shit.
right, like you're simply just a bad product. And I was like, "Ooh, shit."
But I love that. I love that scene because yeah, there's not very many people who can talk like that to Homelander and walk away from it.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
the-
holy
Well, and
shit,
it's
man.
also like Giancarlo Esposito is the perfect casting for this.
oh
because
yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
he
Definitely.
can deliver those lines where you're like, you at first you're like, and then he looks at you and you're like, yeah. It's like like when he was talking to Starlight and she was like, be careful, he might hear you. He was like, I hope he does.
I hope he
I was
does.
like,
Because
wow, like that was
I hope he
hood.
does, because I
That
don't
was
care.
hood as fuck. He was like,
Yeah.
I hope he does. I wish he would hear. Because he needs to understand he ain't in charge. I am. I was like,
Yep.
oh
Right.
fuck.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Really fascinating.
This episode is going to that direction now, on like I said, they're not following the comics like chapter for chapter, episode or issue for issue, but they're going into the same direction of what they're trying to do.
So who
So
created the boys?
the boys was created by Gareth Ennis.
See, that's why I'm saying, like, I thought, okay, so now I need to get these
Yeah,
because
like
I love
and
that.
then like
I love that man.
he just did this as a joke, because again, he wanted
I
to create some
understand that.
he wanted like some creative release, because he was tired of the superhero genre. He just wanted to create something that's so outlandish, so people would be like, oh, this is fucked up, I don't want to fucking read this anymore, and he'll end it or whatever. But I think it was like 75, 72 episodes, if I'm not or issues. Yeah,
I was
it
gonna
had a
say,
pretty
we
good run.
already got to 72 episodes of the show. I was like, where did we go?
No, I mean issues.
No,
When it comes to
I know
comic,
you
so.
meant issues, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Is
creators.
there like a compendium or omnibus of it? Not sorry, Mike, but I
You're
need to
good, you're
know.
good.
It should be compiled, if I'm not mistaken, to
Yeah.
in Barnes and
Because
Noble,
it's
so you
been
can
out
check it
for a
out.
while, right?
Yeah, it's been out for a
Okay.
while.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So
I'll
the
be
boys,
quiet.
the boys creators are Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to mention the boys also just got
Season 4.
greenlit for a 4th season.
Yep.
Um,
It should end by season 5, if I'm not mistaken.
really? Damn.
It should, but again,
right.
with the success of this thing, Amazon can just like, you know what, just greenlight it for the rest of like whatever until they're done.
I mean, yeah, as long as they're telling compelling stories and like you know,
Yep.
I'm in for the long haul.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's something I really look forward to.
Right now it's
So
becoming,
who's the showrunner?
it's Seth Rogen, unfortunately, and
Then it'll probably be on for the next 45 fucking years until the wells run dry. Like, if you were smart, you'd do that, because the Duffer Brothers are wrapping up Stranger Things in season 5. That's happening. It's a fact.
Right.
They've established this since the first season. That's good, and not because of like, don't wear out your welcome.
Right.
And a
Wanna
show
go
like
out
The
on top.
Boys, at maximum, it should have 6 seasons and done. That's it. Like Breaking Bad, 5 seasons, done. Better Call Saul, 6 seasons, done. Some shows are just too great to continue. You need to stop them before we get X-Files season 10.
Game of Thrones season 7 and 8.
24 season 24, and I hate to admit this because I love 24, but 24 season 6, like you lost. Like, let's not do this. Like, it needs to stop at some point. We don't want it going into Walking Dead territory where, it becomes the zombie version of Law and Order, where we're here for 22 years.
Not every show is The Simpsons. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which, by
Not
the
every
way,
show for the old fucks is Gunsmoke.
There you go, Gunsmoke.
Speaking of Walking Dead, we do have Laurie Holden in the cast of season 3 playing the Crimson Countess.
Yes.
I was surprised. I forgot that she was in it.
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. I didn't make that connection until you mentioned
So
it.
wait, did you so you saw the episode already, right? The Disneyland episode.
Yes.
That was fucking amazing to me.
That was hilarious.
Like it only only people that love or that are familiar with Disneyland would know, like, the little shit that they did, that they put in there.
Oh yeah.
Well, for me it was amazing when I saw it, and I was like, holy crap. And then the fact that she destroyed like a fucking character, or like a
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's
Well,
amazing.
as soon as I saw like Maeve's Carousel of Equality or something like that, I was just laughing. I was laughing. Oh man. Yeah, and then of course Soldier Boy, who's played by what's his name?
Jensen Ackles.
Yeah.
Yes, Jensen Ackles.
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Okay. So you need to see episode 4. You need to see, and you need to
Episode 3.
I'm
Episode 3.
Everybody's been talking about it leading up to, even before we got this season. I want to see, because I like him. I really do.
He's great. He's great.
And he's a good dude too. He's one of the last Hollywood celebrities that isn't a complete fucking douchebag.
I mean, his character is.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. That's a testament of how good of an actor he
man.
is. I'm talking about the man.
It's pretty much asshole Captain America.
It's
I'm all about it.
Pinhead. Basically, it's like those alpha male fuckers that you see on
You don't need to tell me
on fraternity.
No more.
Fraternity bros. Fraternity
That's fine.
bros becoming
We
super soldiers.
we work with some of them. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to tell me. You can leave it at that. Thank you, Kuya. We're done.
Okay, and then I want to talk about I think it was the third episode where Homelander invites the Deep back to for lunch to welcome him back to the 7, right? You want to talk about, like, and someone mentioned it, and I didn't make the connection until I saw someone said, in season 1 of The Boys, Starlight, of course, is forced by the Deep to, basically give him a blowjob, which she was all fangirling at him first, and then
she was forced to give him the Deep.
Yeah, pretty much. And now for the Deep to go back into the 7, he was forced to put something in his mouth, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
And it's actually his friend.
Yeah, Timothy. Fucking Timothy. So I saw something earlier which I thought was fascinating. And I had to read it again. I'm like, of course. I do want to mention The Boys has been getting 1-star bomb reviews from a lot of haters because it's quote unquote anti-male, which of course Anthony Starr, Homelander himself, is just fucking laughing and replying to all the shit. So this one, when I read it, I was like, uh-oh. But then I thought, you know what? That's actually a positive thing. So PETA, yes, that PETA, recognizes the boys for the octopus scene. At first I was like, uh-oh, you're in trouble with PETA. What's new, right? But no, PETA actually recognized the boys for the octopus scene because they used a digital octopus and it wasn't a real live octopus on the scene. Which I'm like, well, yeah, that'd be kind of hard for an actor to just,
I mean, Koreans can do it.
Well, you're talking about Koreans. You're talking about
saying.
Asians.
I'm just saying, like, in Old Boy, that's what he fucking did.
Well,
He ate an octopus.
Okay, well,
in one take. But Chase Crawford, oh God forbid, he eats fucking like uncooked seafood.
Well, you kind of want. I mean, it's kind of cool to be in good graces because that means they're promoting the show too.
Oh no, it's funny. It's whatever. I was just enjoying myself because of the fact that, like, again, Homelander just doesn't give a shit anymore.
He doesn't.
That's basically what it is. Like, and then I think Homelander, or like even the Deep's wife, what's her name?
She wears, who wears the pants in that?
Yeah, she's the fucking. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like she's manipulating. Yeah, she's like manipulating everything, and because just I think the reason he ate Timothy was because of the fact that, like, remember, like, they were having sex, and then Timothy was there. Yes. Timothy was like right there watching, watching them, and then all of a sudden he, like, the Deep was like, oh yeah, all that stuff.
Like, with all your arms, hold me with it's like with my arms, or like with
right, and I guess she got jealous. I don't know, it's like she's kind of petty like that.
Right. Well, it's also interesting. So Chase Crawford himself is getting hate mail from fans because his character is making fun of Aquaman. And I just think he thinks it's hilarious that he's getting hate mail for the performance. And I guess so. He has his book, right? The Deep, or what's that? Deeper.
Yeah, Deeper.
So I looked at Eric Kripke's Twitter. Eric Kripke is the developer for The Boys, and
the TV
Leah Remini tweeted, "Thank you for the shout out, The Boys TV and Chase Crawford, and the scene of him calling out Leah Remini." And then The Boys responded and said, "Thanks, Leah, you're the best. And a signed copy of Deeper, it's on its way to you."
Nice.
I love the Easter eggs and the name drops. Fucking Shia LaBeouf's Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that one was funny.
I'm like, since when did Shia fucking LaBeouf have a Ghost Rider? Like, is there a book that he has that I don't know about? Like, I'm loving the show. It's hilarious. There's some the new episode has some action with dildos.
Oh yeah.
And on the show description for the episode, there's actually a website for the dildos. So I was curious. I checked it out. The site is so it says here, it's the hashtag Clash of the Dildos. Which of the 7 inspired dildos will crush the competition in this tip-to-tip challenge?
Wow.
So there's a site, Homelander's Star Spangled Banger or Starlight's Electrified Star Braider. And then the Deep's Flounder Pounder.
Yep. And then the Black Noir's God, I forgot the name. Black Noir.
Yeah. So there's a site, it's called Soup, SUPE porn.com. When you go to that site, it's a site for the dildos. And for a second, I'm like, are you guys actually selling this? And it says no, they're not actually selling. They're just for the show, but they're not selling. I just think it's fucking hilarious that they go, like, the marketing of the show is on point. They have a lot of Easter eggs and like the hashtags that they come up with for American Hero.
Yeah, hashtag Homelight.
Yeah, Homelight, fucking Homelight. So yeah,
No, yeah, this episode was I again this is like pointing that mirror again into like what happened like years ago when um some schmuck said, "Oh, we have the best taco salad in our building."
right, right.
So I was like, "Wow, they really
You know,
went
I
there."
did not make that connection until you mentioned it now. Now, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
like they're really going into it, and then
right,
like they're talking about like, oh, your point of views, your things are coming from me now.
right.
Like so basically they're talking about a certain news channel that
Yeah,
that's known for no spins is
right,
actually
right,
spinning like a
right,
motherfucking top.
right.
So
What
yeah.
a waste of taco salads, though, because they didn't even fucking eat that shit. Like they only took like one of them took a bite. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, the deep did.
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah.
this is
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah. He had some sauce on his mouth.
Yeah,
Fucking
and
hilarious.
it's kind of a racist thing too because like and even what's it, Sonic or whatever his name is, Sonic guy or whatever.
Sonic, yeah, he was
He's like, I
Homelander
don't even speak
Spanish speaking.
Spanish. He was like,
Yeah, yeah,
and he was like, "Yeah, okay."
yeah,
I'm like, what the hell, dude? It-
yeah.
it- yeah.
Fuck
So
the Anthony
basically,
Starr, man.
again, this is kind of like a big fuck you to everybody in the sense that this is a reflection of what happened like years back when people like who shouldn't have control got control. And now like Butcher has powers, and Huey has powers now too. So which is kind of nice, like when they did when they infiltrated the Soviet base, which is kind of
Uh-huh.
cool.
Yeah,
um the fucking hamster, or yeah, the gerbil hamster, whatever.
yeah.
Jamie, was it Jamie?
Jamie, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie. That one was like that's an homage also to the comic book.
Oh, okay, okay.
And there's a reason for that. And as soon as Pinhead reads it, like he'll understand that reference. Um, Also, the like Huey's powers was amazing. It's the ability to is it super speed or is it teleportation? I
It's
think it
like
was teleportation.
teleportation, but he loses
He's
his clothes.
naked.
Yeah,
And then like and then he punches through like the guy, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like and he was all shocked. He was like happy. He was like shocked, whatever. And then Mother's Milk is like, your dick is out.
Yeah, it's right in front of his face. Oh man, but yeah,
Yeah.
also a great scene with Kimiko. I thought that
Yeah.
was great. Because here, yeah, you have like Kimiko, who's like, for her having these abilities, these powers is a curse,
Hmm.
and you have that juxtaposition of Yui, who's like, I want powers because I'm done being, the
Lame.
getting the shit kicked out of me all the time.
Yep.
And then a great scene with Homelander earlier in the episode where Homelander like signs his cast.
Yeah.
For a second, like, yeah, I thought Homelander was just gonna fucking break Huey's arm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
But like,
stuff.
yeah, it's again, it's kind of like it's getting to the point already where we there's a direction where they want to go. And like I want to know how far they can go to that direction. um they fucking basically copied Winter Soldier with
Right,
Soldier.
right, yeah,
But except for the powers and stuff like that. But that was kind of cool, like with
right,
his abilities. um with Kimiko not being able to heal herself, I think it's just like a plot thing. It's because like she got trauma. That was the first time she got full brunt trauma, right? Like
right.
normally she gets shot, she gets stabbed, she get whatever, but like not in the sense like like her entire body just got crushed or something. So maybe it's just like being slow to the point or whatever.
Yeah,
So I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope she's well. Frenchie is I think they want to be out
yeah,
after
yep. They're done. They're done with this shit.
So, but I'm sure they're gonna team up again if they're done or whatever.
Right.
There's no way that they're gonna end it just like that, just because it's whatever. So, but it's been fun watching the boys in the sense that it's just such a breath of fresh air from the other shit that you watch.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just completely different. I'm just like I can see like Anthony Starr is amazing as Homelander, and like the way he acts, like how sinister he is without even like looking sinister. You know what I mean? Like when he
Yep.
when
Oh
he
yeah.
when he just talks about something, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, he's about to like snap somebody's neck. But then, oh,
Yep.
I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing to me. Like to have that character, you know, in the comic books, Homelander is just a sniveling little bitch. Like he's a crybaby. That's basically what he is.
Hmm.
He's a spoiled brat. Like here in the show, he's a little bit different. I mean, he's still a spoiled brat, if you can take it like that. But he's more sinister in this sense. So I
Yep.
liked it.
Yeah. Any other thoughts with the boys before we move on to the next topic? We're good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Pinhead's looking
Alrighty.
forward to the graphic novels then, or to the comic
I
books.
am. I am now.
Yeah. So moving on to the DC universe, we got a trailer finally for Black Adam.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh
Here we go.
God,
So
no.
so the scene that they previewed months back was more sinister and a little bit more edgy, I guess, like Zack Snyder, like edgy, than this trailer. This trailer, a lot of people have been comparing it to them wanting to make it look a little bit more like Black Panther. As far as the trailer, there are some shots in the trailer with the jet,
The low flying
and
whatever
then
thing.
I think it's Hawkman or Mister Terrific jumping out of the jet. It looks like almost shot for shot like Black Panther from that first movie. So
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, I get that. The
It's
trailer
also
was,
it's also Captain America Midnight Winter Soldier, but okay, sure.
yeah. The trailer for me was all right. It wasn't, and here's the thing. Here's why it's kind of tough to be doing trailer reactions to every single fucking thing because I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be able to fake that shit. Like, it looks cool, but I wasn't like, I can't do like the Soup's like, oh my god, like what's Soup's reaction? Holy shit, dude! Oh man, it's like,
Let's
yeah,
go.
Hawkman
Let's
looks
go.
Hawkman looks cool. All the characters look cool. Black Adam looks cool. I'm excited. I want to see this on a big screen. I've been waiting for this.
Mike, are you sure that Black Adam looks cool? I mean, his costume is very, comic booky.
Oh yeah,
Are you sure about that? Because it's,
well, it's a comic book movie, so I don't know.
in a sense that we need to have a little bit more comic book stuff in the superhero movies, because sometimes it gets too real, but like when it comes to the costumes, I don't know, like it's a little too comic booky to me.
Well, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. So
Yeah, it's because he's strong. Yes.
well, yeah, and powerful.
Yes.
Dr. Fate looks cool. Hawkman
I
looks
I
awesome.
I actually, I don't know if you noticed it, but Dr. Fate, they changed his helmet.
Yeah,
So now Dr. Fate doesn't have like eyes.
it doesn't have the helmet does not have eyes. Someone mentioned that's
Yeah.
actually cool because as far as like hold on, I think I'm
Yeah, Dr. Fate, because it's fate, like nobody should know what their fate is, or whatever type of thing.
yeah, and
I just,
something
but I
something
just
with
thought it
not
would.
seeing
Yeah.
something with not seeing and okay, here. So this is from Hawk of Krypton. Hot take: Dr. Fate having an eyeless helmet is low key a lit design choice because being the servant of the Lords of Order, he has to be like the absolute judge with no eye to close for anyone. Justice is blind and all that. So I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it.
I just thought like I didn't even read that tweet. I just thought it was pretty cool that they didn't have that because it looked kind of stupid like with the helmet and then like they had the little buggy eye like this.
the iceless.
So yeah, so I was thinking like, are they gonna make it white? Are they gonna do like, make it bright or whatever?
Right.
Or are they gonna leave it like so that you can see his eyes or something? But I like the fact that there's nothing.
Yeah, it looks cool. I've always liked Dr. Fate, so I'm excited we're gonna finally see him on the big. We've seen him in live action in Smallville, but to see him on the big screen, I think is exciting. Hawkman looks awesome as well, and Atom Smasher and Cyclone, they all look great. And did you see the guys, the bad guys on those flying speeder bikes?
Oh, you mean the Star Wars ripoff?
That's supposedly Intergang.
Yeah, that's Intergang, right?
Which is a criminal group that are supposed to be introduced in a Superman movie. But we're gonna use them in Black Adam.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Really bummed because I think The Rock was trying to get Henry Cavill in this movie.
A cameo, right?
It's a cameo. Yeah, but I don't know if that's even happening. But who knows if
I hope not, because he's beneath the cameo at this point. Give him another fucking movie or nothing.
Yeah, well, I think
the cameo bullshit.
The setup was to get him in a cameo to lead into another movie.
That's not gonna happen. So just either give him a movie or move the fuck on. Stop this cameo bullshit.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
how many cameos have we had with him? Even in come on, enough.
Not counting Shazam, because they got to fucking cut off his head. I mean, talk about a terrible cameo. Like, holy shit. I would rather have not seen him at all, like Superman.
Exactly. Give him another fucking movie or just go on.
Yep.
If you can give Joker a sequel with Joaquin Phoenix, there's no reason why, man.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
So October 21st it's out in theaters. So
whoopee.
I have to check
that kind of makes me sick because that's a day before my birthday, and I'm gonna get a shitty movie the day before my birthday. That's great.
A treat from The Rock.
Yeah, a treat from the cock. That's awesome. The Croc.
So from Black Adam, we go to the Marvel universe. We got.
I just hope they fix the costume because it's too comic booky. Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, tell Grace Randolph to get on it, and she might be able to fix it.
Fucking cunt with the dead eyes and shit.
So from the DC universe, we go back to the Marvel universe. We have a brand new Marvel show, which is actually interesting now because I think they're also releasing the new episodes on Wednesdays. So we're getting a new, it's overlapping with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So every Wednesdays now, we got the first episode for Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan, a Muslim American teen, is a superhero mega fan who discovers she has superpowers. The first episode, Generation Y, 49 minutes. Kamala Khan attends Avenger Con only to discover that she herself might have superpowers. We watched it. We checked it out. We enjoyed it. Julie and I enjoyed it. And I told her.
Did Leanna like it?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't watch any of the MCU stuff.
She doesn't.
She doesn't like the live action stuff yet.
Good for her.
She's still into the cartoons. So yeah.
Get her a nice horror movie,
Yeah. Well, she doesn't like anything live action, especially when it gets violent. So she's not gonna mess with that stuff. I told Julie, you gotta watch this because she's looking forward to Marvels. So I told her, you wanna enjoy that movie, you gotta see this. So we watched it and she enjoyed it. I actually like what's her name? This actress. I'm trying to find a name. It was all over my feed. I mean, she's all over. She's been doing the media circuit. She was just on Jimmy Fallon.
I got kind of offended when she said she was a so-called MCU expert.
Iman Iman Vellani. Iman
Yeah,
Vellani. So why did you get offended? That
I'm
she-
Yeah,
like
'cause now I got it.
you're an expert of the MCU universe, not the comic books, not the
well, she
superheroes, not
is.
everything.
And what's wrong with that? At least she admits it, and she's not pretending that she's a Marvel expert on the
Oh no,
comic.
no, she wanted to correct a lot of people with certain things. So
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh. Or
so
do you just
Uh-oh.
not like her because she's brown?
I mean, me being a Christian and her being Muslim, of course, there's some sort of
Oh yeah,
kind of
because he's
you know
Muslim.
kind of a thing, but no, I she's fine, man. Like I saw the first few minutes of the show, I was like, yeah, it's not for me. So
Me
Right.
too. I was right there. I was like, you know what? This
I
is
wanted to.
Naomi.
Like it looked kind of cool. Like it looked kind of whatever. But then
No, no.
as soon as I saw the fucking like fan made YouTube parody of the of Avengers Endgame, I was just like, oh Jesus,
This is Marvel's Naomi. This is Marvel's Naomi. Like
nope,
it's not for us,
not for me.
and I'm fine with that. If you enjoy it, that's fine, but it's
Yep.
not for me. This show was fucking grot.
Yeah.
I'd rather have my dick crushed in an expedition car door than have to see another episode of this grot. I'm not even giving it 3 strikes. It doesn't deserve it because it's not for me. So, but I'm glad you guys enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's not.
I like the family dynamic, of course. Very typical Asian family with the parents.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing to see a teen playing a teen, and not like some 30-year-old
Yeah, 40-year-old. Yeah, I'm teen.
yeah,
Hello, fellow students.
pretending to be in high school. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I will say also, I don't like this character because of my experience with her in the Avengers game on
Yep.
the Marvel. She was fucking trash,
Yep.
and I'm seeing the same boring, who gives a fuck storyline that I got in Marvel Avengers. I'm seeing
And
the same thing here, and that's why I'm backing off because that shit was grot. And that game where you wanted to be Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, you got to be him for a minuscule amount of time. We spent too much time with her, and she's too fucking boring for me to spend that much time with someone who I don't give a fuck about. So I'm stepping out.
Pinhead, they retconned her powers from the video game and the
I
comic book.
know they did because now she's the Elastic Lantern. If she's not elastic anymore, now she's in the cosmos, and she shut the fuck up. Because you did that because 2 reasons. The Fantastic Four, which you're still trying to come here, and number 2, that would, a Muslim girl who you're trying to push off as a fucking, that's fine. Giving her gigantic man hands as her superpower is not good enough. So you had to scale it back for the show. No one, not even the people that would pretend that they like this show, would be able to accept that a teenage girl, a teenage Muslim girl trying to fit. She's got giant man hands. She's got giant elastic man hands. That's her superpower.
Yep.
Good for you. And it's also offensive because you're talking about pushing this progression, and you have this young woman, a fine young woman who's doing her best. You're talking about Muslim. You give them kibble. The best power you could give her is giant man hands. Fuck out of here. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. They changed it to hard light. Now they call it hard light.
Exactly. Giant man
that's what
hands,
it's
but
called,
not
hard
so
light?
much the lantern hands. Like, get the fuck out of here, you bums. You're so fucking incompetent at your jobs. You're inept at your jobs. I'm done with you. Get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
they want to tie it in with the Marvels too, right? Like,
Well, good
like
for the exactly.
yeah,
We got
she will be on
that's
the
what
movie.
Jim Cornette calls lazy booking.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's lazy booking. So fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah, this character will be in the Marvels with Captain Marvel and what's her name? Monica Rambeau's character. Is it I know it's like a P. Starts with a P. Her other
Pussy.
alter ego.
I mean,
Photon.
Photon. Thank you. Yeah. So Photon, Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel. So, yeah,
that'll be a team right there. You know,
yeah.
the
You know,
proton.
they can probably conquer the universe just by them three, but
And then
you know,
Maybe they should jump inside of a penis, and that'll really.
and blow it up.
Mhm.
I thought there were some interesting Easter eggs in this episode as well. The Trust a Bro truck from Hawkeye shows
Yep.
up in the end credits, and then the guy from the FBI or the damage control?
yeah, damage control.
Spider-Man No Way Home shows up at the end as well. He's keeping tabs on her, which leads into the next piece of news they just announced yesterday.
Ooh.
Because Sony realized, hey, we got some Morbin time, we got some Spidey
Go,
time.
Morbius, go! Go, Morbius, go!
So Spider-Man No Way Home, the more fun stuff. Whoever the fuck came up with this shit should be fucking fired, because I could come up with something better and catchier than this shit. The Spider-Man No Way Home, the more fun stuff version, swings into movie theaters in the US and Canada September 2nd. More countries to be announced soon. So we're getting an extended cut of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Why?
Cool. Fine.
Why?
It's
Why?
great. Well,
Why?
Money.
Who are they competing against? Like, who is Marvel competing against?
I mean, at this point, they want to just increase that record and the Marvel hype, I'm curious to see. They didn't announce anything else. They didn't announce how many more minutes we're going to get. If it's gonna be a fucking undone scene, if we're gonna see unfinished, unrendered scenes with unfinished CGI like they did for Endgame, I don't know about that shit, because that was kind of annoying.
I mean, if it's more of Lola, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Of who?
Lola,
Oh,
Ned's grandma.
right.
I would be
Well,
perfectly fine with that.
I think they're hinting at it's going to be more of the Peters. Peter 1, Peter 2, and Peter 3. So more what? You don't like Tobey Maguire's? You don't like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans?
I want them in their own separate movie, not in the fucking
Right? My question is, where were all the fucking haters at of the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2? Where were you guys at? Huh?
Apparently everybody loves Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
I was there.
That's why they didn't make the Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I was there opening day for both the Amazing Spider-Man movies. The same way I was there for the Andrew Garfield Spider, because it's Spider-Man and I love Spider-Man.
Yep.
So I'm like, where's that energy?
That's why they didn't, because they loved Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man so much that they didn't green light Amazing Spider-Man 3, which is the Sinister Six. Oh wait, you mean like No Way Home?
Whoa, Sinister 5.
Oh, 6,
in No Way Home. They didn't give us 6 in No Way Home. They actually gave us 5.
Like you forgot the person behind the scenes, man. Kingpin was there.
Kingpin?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where?
Kingpin is everywhere.
In No Way Home?
Yes. He's everywhere, bro.
But he wasn't in No Way Home.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if
No. You're making shit up now.
It doesn't matter if
Murdoch was there. The king.
Mike, it doesn't matter if Kingpin had a scene in any fucking movie. Kingpin is everywhere because he's fucking Kingpin. That's why he's Kingpin.
Okay. But I'm talking about actually physically. Okay, because you're it sounds like you're pulling some Jar Jar Abrams shit.
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying Kingpin is the 6th villain because of the fact that he orchestrated all of this shit to happen.
Sure. Okay. Sure.
So it's the Kingpin, man. Trust me.
Okay. Alrighty. And then real quick, I just saw this tonight. Transformers, the 2007 Michael Bay movie, believe it or not, is 15 years old this year. So it's coming back to theaters July 10 and July 14.
So
And
what does that
then,
mean? Cloverfield's 16 years old?
I guess so.
Wow.
And then Steven Spielberg's classic Jaws and E.T. will be heading for the first ever IMAX release. That should be pretty
Who the
fucking
fuck
awesome.
cares? Jaws is garbage. It's so overrated.
I love E.T. So to see that on IMAX,
E.T.'s fine. Jaws is fucking grot.
and not just IMAX, it will also be released in Real D 3D beginning September 2nd.
Ooh, look out.
So
Ooh. That's
So-
still more money from the
no.
consumers. Ooh, just like we're doing with Spider-Man. Ooh, look out.
and then another the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife is currently in pre-production. So Ivan is it Jason Reitman, right?
Jason
Is-
Reitman, yeah. Jason
Yeah.
Reitman.
Ivan Reitman passed away last year or earlier this year. May he rest in peace. They had a Ghostbusters Day celebration, and Jason Reitman announced that he is currently writing the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, and the current code name is Firehouse.
Hey, so is it about a painting by the name of Vigo the Corinthian?
Who knows? Who knows? Have you seen Afterlife, Kuya?
Huh?
Have you seen Afterlife?
No.
I think you should check it out.
I should.
It's
But-
cool.
I don't know. It might not be a new Ghostbusters movie. It might be a Kiss autobiography film, because Firehouse,
Yeah,
you
true.
never know.
That's true.
Yep. So that's pretty much all I have. I will now pass it on to Pinhead, because he's got some updates for us for Hellraiser and some video game news announcements.
We'll go with the video game shit because right now, and the only reason why I brought up Hellraiser to bring into the show is because people wanted me to talk about it. We have nothing. We have a screening that happened in LA a month ago. As of today, it was 3 weeks ago. It was a month ago. I'm gonna put this out here because they keep saying that this movie's coming out this year. It's not going to. Let's look at it, because according to the news that is being posted out there, if you actually look it up, and I'll give the credit to Mr. H. He's a YouTube channel who has very reliable sources. And I know this for a fact because he spoiled the No Way Home shit before it happened, 6 months before it happened, and it all came true. He spoiled the Predator shit, the Prey that we're getting. They tried that was the code name, like how Firehouse is the code name for Ghostbusters, only they kept it. He had the sources that were telling us that this is going to be a very female-centric Predator film. It's true now. So we have the
Quick, sorry.
information
What do you think of that teaser?
of Prey.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking garbage. And
Yeah.
the reason why I think it's garbage is because it makes no sense. We have a lot of callbacks to especially the mud puddle. We really had to do the Arnold mud puddle.
Yep.
That makes more sense for that era. But we can obviously see it takes place in the time before even Arnold Schwarzenegger's. I'm sorry, I don't care if it's a man, woman, or child. You're gonna tell me that person's gonna be able to defeat the Predator, the Yautja, with muskets, bows and arrows, when Arnold, with better technology at the time, barely fucking survived. What are you gonna do when you're loading that rifle musket as soon as the fucking target? And we see that the Predator still has their same technology. Boom, it's over. So it's a stupid concept. It's so fucking dumb. But we gotta do this because we gotta suck off the teat of Predator and Alien, which also reminds me of the new TV series that's going to be a fucking debacle on FX Hulu of the Alien series developed by Disney. This is what happens when Disney gets too much control because they fuck shit up. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm happy you guys love your Space Wizards and Mandalorian and Marvel films. Disney knows nothing about sci-fi and horror. They know nothing about it. And the fact that they now have a stranglehold on two of the greatest horror sci-fi IPs, it makes me sick to my stomach. So how do I feel about the Prey trailer, the Predator? You know, Native American, fuck that film. And fuck Disney for doing it. And fuck Disney for doing the new TV series. But we're going on a tangent. We don't need, because we're getting to that soon. My prediction is we've had nothing. You don't have a screening, especially in Los Angeles, and then go radio silence for a month. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
So there's a problem because the film's done. We've even had people talk about the concept art and and confirming the concept art that's inside this screening. The grotesque look of the new Pinhead and the Cenobites and how they don't have clothes. They don't wear clothes anymore. It's woven inside their flesh. All the stuff that we're hearing about is so fantastic, but we keep going radio silent. That's a problem. Why are we doing that? So there's one of two things that are going to happen. They're really going to push for a theatrical release. I'm sorry, folks. They keep saying that we're going to get this in no, we won't. We'll get it next year if they push it for a theatrical release. And this is, my half-breed Negrodamus prediction. If they do a theatrical release, just to fuck with Clive Barker and the director, they're going to release it at the end of January, middle of February, where movies go to die. Because they did it with Scream, which is an actual intellectual property that most people know, and that movie dethroned Spider-Man. It was the first film to dethrone Spider-Man, and it made lots of money. So now the studios are going to go, uh-oh, Scream did it, so let's throw it in January because it's a win-lose. So if they throw it in January and it happens to happen like Scream, they make a lot of money. If they throw it in January, they have an excuse. Well, that's where movies go to die. You cannot put this on the same level as Scream because most people, if you ask what's Hellraiser and Phantasm, they don't know. If most modern people, they know Freddy Krueger.
Mm-hmm.
They know Jason Voorhees, Friday. I don't even care if you're a horror fan. We all know these. We know who Michael Myers is of Halloween. Fuck, now with Andy Muschietti, we know who Pennywise is. You go ask any modern casual fan, hey, you know who the tall man is? You know who Pinhead is? Have you heard of Hellraiser? That's at best you'll get, that's not a good omen. So we're either it's going to happen like that or it's going to just be put on streaming where it goes to die either way. I'm very worried that the powers that be don't have faith in this because how do you have a screening that has a reaction? Because they admitted it themselves. You can look it up. You can go on Mr. H and he'll give you the article himself where to look it up. How do you have a screening in Los Angeles, the hub of creatures themselves? The only other place would be New York. Those are the two places you have screenings where you do shit like this. How do you have a screening where people are uncomfortable and you have potential for a good theater film and then a month you go radio silence? To put it into perspective, Halloween Ends, that's coming out in October. We know it's coming out in October, is wrapped. It's done. Jamie Lee Curtis has already done her shit. We know that because she posted on her Twitter and her Instagram that I am very happy to have concluded this chapter in my life. I'm paraphrasing, but she put a post out there, so we know Halloween's done. So that means we will get a trailer for Halloween very soon. Hellraiser's done too. We have radio silence, and we have no indication that there will be a trailer whatsoever. So this tells me they keep saying that it's coming out this year. It's not. It's coming out it's coming out next year. If we're lucky. If we're lucky. And I'm saying this because everybody keeps asking me, what's going on with Hellraiser? None of us know. Not even Mr. H, who is the definitive, and I don't like promoting channels, but he's the definitive knowledge breaker of, he knows everything. The only person that knows more about, he's the Dave Filoni of fucking Hellraiser. The only person that knows more about Hellraiser than Mr. H is Clive Barker, the creator. And we're getting nothing. This tells me they're either going to let it die in the theater in January, or they're going to bury it under streaming with Hulu. So it's not a good omen. That's all I'm saying. So for those of you out there, the only reason why I brought up Hellraiser is because you keep asking me. We don't know what's going on. So that's that. Fuck Hellraiser at this point. That's what happens when you let David S. Goyer run amok and him be the co-producer of it. So.
Oh, he's the co-producer for Hellraiser?
Well, he's the co-producer because at the end of the day, the law and order goes through Clive Barker after he won his case.
Right.
I'm glad there could be another scenario because Clive Barker now, after he won his case and has the entire rights back to Hellraiser, he now legally, even beyond contracts, I don't know how, he can now legally go, okay, I don't like this. It's shut down. We're done. So maybe, who knows? That's a third scenario that scares me even more, that maybe he went, well, maybe we're just done with this production and it's not going to happen. And you can bury it because because Clive Barker's not fucking around anymore. He's done with this shit. He's had enough with the disrespect of his IP of Hellraiser, which he doesn't even like the term Pinhead. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm trying to, because I respect Clive Barker and he hates that term. He hates it. It was only created for a bag for the film. That's not what the entity he's known as, or the entity is known as the Hell Priest. Yep. And we know this is by reading the Scarlet Gospels, the last book he wrote on Hellraiser. He definitively ended Pinhead in more ways than one. And he made people that brought up the name Pinhead die in the most grotesque, hateful ways that I'm not even going to get into it because it's even inappropriate for this. That's why I said this boy shit where a guy goes into the dick and explodes it. That's mediocre compared to what Clive Barker made the Hell Priest Pinhead do to someone else's dick in that book. And we'll talk about chains going in, the chains that cut people open. That's why I said this boy shit don't bother me, because Clive Barker goes there because he hates that name. That's how much he despises it. So maybe he just said, you know what, fuck this shit, Goyer. You thought it's done. I'm hoping that's not the case, because this young transgender woman who, comes off the L Word Generation Q, if I'm not mistaken, that's where I know her from. She deserves to have her chance, so I'm hoping it's not shut down, but that is also a third scenario that could happen. I'll leave it at that. We know nothing. All I'm saying is it's fishy. We know absolutely nothing. After we got a screening, information about a screening that actually went pretty well for a Hellraiser film. So something's rotten in Denmark, as the old saying goes. And we'll move on to the video games and be done with it. Because Hellraiser, we don't know nothing. That's all I'll say. We know nothing. We know absolutely nothing. Who knows? Maybe all of us will wake up tomorrow and we'll get a new Thor: Love and Thunder trailer for Kuya, the final one,
Oh,
and I'll
why-
get my
I saw it
Hellraiser
already.
trailer.
I saw
While
it
you-
already.
No, I
Why-
mean the new one. Tomorrow we'll get just for Kuya edition, and then
Since
I'll
you-
get my.
since you mentioned that real quick, the tickets go on sale for Thor: Love and Thunder on Monday. So Kuya, get your
Huh?
wallet ready.
Yeah.
Better get those seats
Yeah, sure.
for the first show. Fuck opening night, the first show, Thursday.
Yep.
Thursday screening.
We gotta bring you to. I'll still be here in Reno. We gotta fly Kuya out here.
I know, right? We got to do a screening.
Him and his wife. We gotta watch a private watch party for him, and his boy,
Yeah.
your boy Taika.
You gotta have some cosplayers, some fucking Korg, and
Yeah.
Thor.
If I knew that Kuya was coming, I'd cosplay as Jane Foster. So
Yeah.
tits and all, you know.
She's the one saving grace for this coming movie, anyways. So
Yeah, tickets go on sale on Monday, so you know they're gonna be ready to announce record-breaking ticket sale.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I'll send you the reminder too as soon as tickets are on sale.
I'll fucking wait, man. I don't give a shit.
Actually, I can't even do that. I gotta.
Mike,
fuck that. I
it's
gotta get
100
my-
degree. It's 100 degrees outside right now
So that's
in
why you go to the
Arizona.
movie theater.
That's why you come here.
No,
You know,
do you
it's
want me
only
to wait
90
in
here.
fucking line and like wait in line to buy tickets for
No,
any
you do.
sort of
You
movie?
buy it online, like every
I'm not gonna
person.
buy it online.
Exactly. Like
No,
Why would you go? Why would you? No one. Who does that? No one does that anymore.
I do. I'm old school. God damn it,
Oh, bullshit.
I'm old school.
I'm
Yeah,
as old
really.
as you are, Kuya, and I don't even fucking do that anymore. Stop it.
The last time I actually bought tickets in person was last year for Spider-Man: No Way Home on my birthday, because the tickets went on and I couldn't access the site, so I went to the theater and snuck in the doors as they were closing to buy tickets for Spider-Man: No Way Home. But
I
that's
will
because-
say, as much as I want to buy Thor: Love and Thunder tickets, I gotta say fuck that, because the black phone tickets are now on advance sale, so I need to get those first. Because
Oh yeah, they had early preview screenings. I was looking if they had some here, because if they had an advanced screening here, I was gonna send it to you, but of course,
yeah, I would have missed,
it gets
because
left out.
I would have honestly missed work one more time for that, because they're saying he is terrifying in this film. They're saying Ethan Hawke has gone to another level of just.
There I say Oscar worthy performance.
Well, but the only problem I have is that Rotten Tomatoes has already given it 100%, which
No. I mean, but it's okay. That's fine. Like Rotten Tomatoes can give it whatever the point.
and
point
not
it
only
is.
that, those that know me, especially Kuya, I have a hard time believing that Jason Blum produced a good horror film. Modern Jason Blum. If we were talking about Jason Blum 10 years ago, I would have been like, of course, this man's a genius. Modern Jason Blum.
Pinhead,
I'm not. I'm not even doing it, because it'll be another rant, and I don't want to do this. It'll be a 5-hour show. But
he may have caught
Blum makes
lightning in
me
a bottle or something. He may have sold his soul to the devil or something, just to get. Oh, please give me one good one right now.
Like I said, the only person I'm supporting this for is for Ethan Hawke and his. Otherwise, I'm done with Jason Blum. I've had enough.
Have you seen his cowboy movies on Netflix?
No, and I'm
Pinhead?
not going to. I'm not going to.
No,
I will
he's
not do it.
amazing. Ethan Hawke is amazing as a cowboy.
Oh, I thought you meant Jason Blum.
No. I'm
I was
talking
about
about
to
Ethan Hawke.
say, don't make me hurt you, Kuya.
No, I'm talking about
Make me
Ethan
hurt
Hawke,
you.
man. I'm talking about Ethan Hawke. Like if you type in Ethan Hawke, and there should be like a couple of cowboy movies that he's in. It's like one of them. I forgot the name. I think it's like a city or town of violence or something like that. That
I
one's
hate
that
cowboy
one's
movies,
amazing.
you know?
Ethan Hawke is good, man. I like
I'll
it. I
check
like
it.
them. I like them since fucking whatchamacallit, that sci-fi movie that he did with River
Oh,
Phoenix in the 80s. Um, what's the name of that? The Explorers.
oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. All right.
Huh? Yeah.
I love Ethan
Ethan
Hawke.
Hawke.
You know,
God damn it! Like
Gattaca,
this
Gattaca, a
yeah.
very
This
underrated
is
film.
pre Gattaca. This is pre
I know. I've
pre
seen
uh pre
spoilers. I
90s.
hate that
You know
film.
what's that movie that he was in with fucking Ben Stiller and God. It was all over the 90s. God.
Reality Bites.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Like,
I've never seen that film, so.
yeah.
I've never seen that either. But yeah,
Well, how the fuck do you know?
well, I just remember the cover from the DVD cover, the poster. But
Yeah.
someone was tweeting Ethan Hawke is having quite a year because he's got the Northman, he
Yep.
was in Moon Knight, and now he's in Black Phone. So he's kind of having quite a year as far as like being and stuff.
He was great in
his
the Northman. For the small amount of time he was in there, he was amazing.
I agree.
To see that.
I
He
agree.
was beautiful. Like Northman is my favorite film of the year, but we got off on track. We need to we're on the video games and we're gonna wrap it up. You know, I'm just saying it's 50-50. By the way, for those that don't know, on a side note, Jonathan Cena is returning to wrestling. So
Yay.
Wow, your boy got a shout out from you.
Yay. I can't believe
you, John.
Jonathan Cena when WWE is in trouble and nobody wants to watch because they want the number one guy to be back instead of like doing like, other shit. So
Well, their only hero, Cody Rhodes, got injured very badly, so now they need Jonathan.
is it like blown
He
knee or something?
his pectoral muscle from the bone,
Ooh, yeah.
and he still wrestled at Hell in a Cell. So I have a new respect for Cody Rhodes. But let's do this because we're gonna go down another. But yes, Jonathan Cena is returning. Let's go into the video games. We're gonna wrap them up real quick. We had the State of Play, and we had the Summer Games Fest. I want to preface this, people, and I even talked to Mike about this. E3's dead. It's never coming back.
Yep.
Not the way you guys thought it would, and I don't even know if it'll ever come back. Period. But E3, it's dead and gone. It is gone because we have the State of Play from Sony.
Mm-hmm.
The showcase of Microsoft comes tomorrow as we're recording this because, well, now it's later today on the 12th of Sunday is the Microsoft showcase. I know this because I have my Xbox Series S and they keep jamming it down our throat. We have the Nintendo E3's dead. Okay. And this just hammered it home because Sony, the three big people, and I'm talking about Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, they have their own showcases. E3's dead. And we got this because now we got the State of Play. And we'll go through the announcements. And I want to read this article because I'll wrap this up with the article that we're gonna read because these are two of my most anticipated games that I want to play. First, we'll start off with Resident Evil 4, the remake, because that's necessary. It comes out March 24th next year on only PS5. It will be exclusive for PS5. What a shock. We have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 coming out this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yay.
It's on everything. We got Mike's favorite, Midnight Suns, October 7th.
Yeah.
What trash on my birthday month. We got Black Adam and now Midnight Suns. October 2nd.
Just for you.
And that will be on everything, including Steam. I have my note down here that has to be moved. Street Fighter or Street Fighter, they're doing the Halloween. It's Street Fighter, but it's Street Fighter 6 on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, Steam, to be determined sometime next year in 2023. Now, we had a couple other things. Final Fantasy 17's coming out. Who cares?
17. God.
Yeah, like we're going down that road.
Yep.
But my two favorites, well, not my favorites because I haven't played them, but my two anticipated games are the Callisto Protocol
Yep.
and Routine. So, and I bring this up because this comes from TechSpot. Nobody knows them probably because, they're idiots. And we're gonna explain why. Their article says, why it matters. Summer Game Fest showcased a couple of sci-fi horror games on Thursday. One is the Callisto Protocol, the spiritual successor to the visual games classic Dead Space developed by the original title team. The other is Routine for Lunar Software. Now, they acknowledge that this game is created by the original team, especially the creator. And I just had to do this. And I gotta look for it because this was beautiful. They talk about, so let's go through Routine because Routine I actually really am looking forward to. Like the Callisto Protocol, Routine takes several cues from Dead Space franchise. However, it has been in development hell for nearly a decade, and I do know that. This game has been in development hell for a decade, and now it is finally happening. Lunar Software initially announced it in 2012 with a 2014 release date, but the project went radio silent in 2016, leading many to think the developer canceled the game. Apparently not so much because we got a surprise. Lunar revealed the game at Summer Game Fest, which just happened a couple of days ago, but it appears quite different, and it does look different. You can actually look on YouTube yourself from what we got in this trailer from Routine and the original concept gameplay. It's night and day, even beyond technology. Anyway, you'll still feel like something is about to get the drop on you, blah, 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 blah. Lunar explained its hiatus on its website, saying that it's almost had a finished game in 2016, but did not like the end product, so it scrapped the whole thing and started over. So this is another reason why they completely just said, fuck it. It wasn't good. And I like this. Is these guys are taking their own money. Your AAA developers, I don't know, EA, Ubisoft, all you guys could take a cue out. These guys literally scrap the shit, and that's not cheap, especially from an independent developer, and they put more money into it to make a better product. You guys are multi-billion-dollar companies, and you can't do this. It's fucking pathetic. It's fucking pathetic that these guys are willing to put bankruptcy on the line, because that's what it is at the end of the day. If this game doesn't succeed, these kids go, maybe they're not kids. These guys, these men, these women, these people that develop this game, if this doesn't succeed, they go bankrupt. What's your excuse, EA? What's your excuse, Ubisoft? What's your excuse, Square Enix? We're waiting. Anyway, we'll continue and we'll wrap this up and end this episode. We've essentially restarted production of the game. What we're sharing here today. What's your excuse, Naughty Dog? I had to put that one in there because of Cuckman. Anyway, let's continue. Reselling The Last of Us like your Grand Theft Auto 5 for the 45th time. Anyway, I digress. As we're approaching what we believe to be the end of development, we were finding more and more things that we were not happy with. With the negativity impacting experience, we had to work on the project for 5 years at this point and simply couldn't release it as it was. So they reconstructed this from the bottom up. And where I thought this was funny was this writer talked about the Callisto Protocol. And they said the Dead Space 99-cent store knockoff could be promising for those who are Dead Space fans. You journalists need to do your job. You know why it's a knockoff? Because the guys that created it, as you said in your same fucking article, including the guy himself, the creator, that's why it's a knockoff. It's like you dumbass idiot Metallica haters going, the Metallica albums sound like Metallica albums. That's because they're Metallica, dumb fuck. Same rules apply here. Congratulations. You won the Dunce Fuckwit Award of the Year. Congratulations, Tech. Let's give you the credit where credit's due. Tech Spot. Congratulations. You won the Fuckwit Award of the Year. So good job. Anywho, that's that. We have other things, but who cares? Like, we don't need to talk about the 45th re-release of The Last of Us Part 1 on PS5. Like, you guys are being Grand Theft Auto 5 at this point. This is Naughty Dog's Grand Theft Auto. You've released it on 4 different platforms. But it's HD and it's 4K and shut the fuck up.
Oh,
You're
and we're
crying
changing
out.
a couple of things just like so it'll be brand new.
You guys are pathetic because anybody can see it for themselves. You literally did a side by side of the PS4 remaster next to this game, and it is not that much, not enough for another $70 fucking dollars.
Oh damn!
You guys need to be shot in the head. At the very least, you should be thrown in the gas chamber for that egregious. That's attempted murder. At least to somebody's pockets, that's attempted murder. So you should be thrown in the gas chamber for your egregious crime.
But Pinhead, the black kid in the original Last of Us, now in the PS5 version, is deaf, and they only do sign language.
Suck my dick. It's called price gouging.
Yep.
It's called fucking, as Jim Cornette would say, it's lazy booking.
It's kind of crazy to think that video games are close to $100 now. Like, holy shit.
And what's even crazier is video games are close to $100 and we keep paying for the same fucking game. And we're not even talking about remaking, like, we're talking about just reskinning like the Grand Theft Auto and the Star Wars games, and now Last of Us once again, like Grand Theft, like, and people pay this shit. Like you said, they vote with their dollar. Yeah. These guys do. This is why microtransactions are, because people do this shit. Oh God! Call of Duty has this ultra pink sniper rifle that can blow the back of a bitch's pussy out in one shot, and it costs $5,000. They'll pay it. They'll pay it.
New skin.
Even if the product doesn't give, even if that gun doesn't do what it's, they'll still pay it.
Yep. Because
they're brain dead grot goblins.
They want to be first. They want to be best. They want to be
the only one. I gotta be the last of the big spenders. Ooh, look at me. I'm a regular Gordon Gekko, even though I'm still stealing my mother's credit card to buy this shit.
Hey.
How much are you a Gordon Gekko on Wall Street when you're stealing your mother's Social Security check to pay for this shit that you don't need? Shut the fuck up. Get it out. Get it out. You're all grot. You're all grot goblins that should be thrown in the fucking gas chamber. There you go. That's a way to end it. Hooray! Pinhead back in form. There you go.
All righty. Well, that's pretty much all we have for this episode.
Sorry, I get mad when my Red Sox lose. So there you go.
It's all right.
You're good. Alrighty, thank you guys for listening or watching. We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a voice message. Let us know what you
Please
thought of
do.
Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4, or perhaps it's The Boys you're watching, or Miss Marvel, or whatever else. We just love to hear from anyone and everyone who's listening.
If you want to complain
Maybe
about,
you're reading Dune like I am over again. Tell me about it. I'm on Children of Dune right now, so
yeah.
There
if
you
if
go.
you if you want to complain about Obi-Wan, or what we thought of Obi-Wan, or any of the things that we talked about, by
leave
all
your
means,
complaints to Kuya.
no, send Mike a message, send him a DM, or send him a voice message in Anchor, and you're gonna get a response soon enough.
Well,
So
I
Like a
do
bad
want to.
omen. You're gonna get your response.
I do want to mention by this episode, by the time people are listening to this, the intro of this episode will be the new updated intro that Jester worked on, with the awesome instrumental music that Max sent us
thanks,
a
Max.
while back.
Who's
So,
Max?
One of our listeners.
one of our listeners, he was watching me from back in the OG YouTube days of my
All
channel.
right. Hey, I love you, Max.
And then he sent us that instrumental that I've been using as well, but now Jester integrated that instrumental intro with some surprises. Well, by the time people listen to this part of the show, they would have already heard it, but
Yeah.
I think it's still cool.
I want to change mine, Mike, instead of like the whatever I said to like Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, we'll have to let Jester know. So in
I
the
don't
next
know.
update,
It might be a little tough because like what I said in the original is too long. So, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
or we can easily just have you record saying Jesus Christ in like 20 different variations.
I mean, if Jester was really about it, he would have put the pedophile shit in there with Batman for you. That's more appropriate for your punk ass.
Yeah,
So.
and then
To be quite honest, if we're being honest, like,
and then
like again, we didn't want Mike to be canceled.
we're way past that point. We would have been canceled already with mine in your mouth. So don't even try and play that
a
card.
potential brand new listener listens to that intro and then they hear that shit, they'd be like, I'm shutting this shit off.
No, they're gonna be like, oh my god, here we go. But that's
Although,
all right.
Kuya-
I actually do like the fact that like what I said was funny because he said, like I'm all about facts. In my opinion, is facts. So I was like-
Yeah.
and I was just like, I don't even remember like which episode it was that I said it, and I was like, yeah, I that sounds like me.
Yeah, he captured your essence
That was funny.
in those few words.
I'd like to say I don't think Jester captured my essence very well. I'm evolved from that kind of.
With the blow your load? No,
Yeah.
that's absolutely perfect, man. Whatever. It's either that or it's like you're grot. You're fucking grot.
I would much prefer that. You're grot.
Well,
And I'm done.
in the next update, in the
Exactly.
next update for sure. But I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing hopefully reactions from our listeners with that new intro.
So am I,
especially with,
because I heard it too, and I'm because
shout out to our boy
Yeah.
Josiah. He sent out, or he released another version of one of his singles with a faster beat. So it actually sounds good. So
Okay.
Josiah, shout out to you, man.
it actually sounds good this time, unlike the
No.
last time.
Like
Absolute
it's
rock.
actually it's a faster beat because like when I heard it, I was like, when I heard the original, I was like, oh, that's cool. But this one, like I was just like, when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
I respect Kuya's opinion, so I'll have to check it out.
Is it
Yeah.
switching sides?
Yeah, switching sides. The
Okay,
173 BPM, I think.
Okay, yeah. 175.5
Or 175,
BPM.
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
He's
Yeah.
it might motivate you guys during work. So like that's
I don't
that's
know.
the thing.
The reason why I haven't got to it yet, I got that Lady Gaga all the time, so I got.
Hey, sometimes you gotta you got to give a king a chance before because you listen to the queen of pop
I know.
like so much.
I love my brothers coming up with new music.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
long as it's not mumble rap.
No, he's good. You can
Because then I'll have to put the fucking Kurt Cobain shotgun in my mouth and listen to the click.
no. He's Josiah is a wordsmith, so he's good.
Okay, I
He
like
has
that. I love my wordsmiths. They're fucking awesome. So I'm gonna check them
Pinhead.
out.
He has
He's
a
like a
rap.
young Nas or Common.
He has a rap about Dune.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, yeah. Remember,
I'm
I
not
sent
even
it to
lying.
you. It's called Paul Atreides.
Yep.
I didn't hear it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
go listen to it.
I sent
It's
it to you in the
I
group
think
chat. Yeah.
I think it's bumping. Like I think it's my favorite one that
I
he
think
did.
I might be in love now.
Yeah, he like it's my favorite one from him because of the fact that like it's putting he's putting himself into the mindset of Paul Atreides of what he'd be
Ooh,
thinking.
that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And then
you
he
gotta
said
listen to it.
he
Ooh,
said he
I
was
like
gonna
it.
cut it, but I said no, keep it. It's cool. So
You better not cut it before I listen to it. I'll cut
no,
yours.
it's on Spotify, so it's good.
I'll check
Yeah,
it out.
so if you guys are listening, make sure to check out Josiah, JosiahXDied, Josiah X Died on Spotify. He has all his tracks there.
Yep.
So
And
The
just
shot.
so everybody knows, I did dip my toe into the TikTok. As Mike knows, I actually started doing
Oh
TikToks.
no, he went to the dark
can't
side.
resist.
Wow, they're not that good, but they're
Hey,
random as
wait.
fuck.
So wait,
That's all I'll
am I
say.
the last guy, the last bastion of hope of not having a TikTok?
Well, they're random as fuck. So
I know, because
See, you keep saying that, Kuya, but there's something for everyone on TikTok. So I mean, you don't have to make any TikToks, but I think you'll appreciate watching.
no, I would be just reacting to like the dumb shit that I see on TikTok, because that's the thing, right? Because like I would, because like if I hear something that I disagree with, I can just like respond to it with a
Yeah, you
video.
can
right?
comment. You
Okay.
can comment, and then they can, and whoever makes a TikTok, they can respond with your comment and actually reply with a video.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that. So.
Yes.
I didn't know that either. So
Yes.
that's good to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Pinhead, you can just like do a review like this is the scariest movie ever. You're grot.
yeah, exactly. That's the best part. So when people call you out, you can call them out by actually responding.
That's awesome.
So I've been really digging, of course, Kate Bush's song that's blown up since Stranger Things 4, Running Up the Hill.
Oh no.
So I found some variations. There's this guy who can actually really sing, and he did emo / rock version of the song. And when he does it on his mic, of course, you can like someone commented and pretty much said, hold on, I want to get the exact word here. Hold on, looking for it. And obviously on TikTok, there's so many, you can easily save what you, the TikToks that you like. And now they just added a feature, which is great, which is what I've been waiting for. You can now categorize your saved TikToks into like different categories. So if you like recipes for baking or cooking, you can have a separate category. You can have a separate, sure, whatever you can.
I'm sure Jester has Elvin Titty somewhere.
Yeah, whatever you fancy. Oh my God, why can't I find this?
There's a version of that song that I heard, Mike. It's on YouTube. It's like a string quartet doing that version, and it sounds. I think it's better than the original.
Of what song? Of Kate Bush?
Kate Bush is running up the hill. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
So
I only like one version of that song.
I mean,
So-
I don't know. I
It's
like
not Kate Bush's at all.
So the guy on TikTok This Is Loveless, and he did. So he watched the episode because people were requesting him that he do his own version of Kate Bush's Running Up the Hill. So he did one, and it's an emo rock version that he did. And he's using, of course, he's got a mic and everything. So someone got smart and said, damn, those mics really make you sound like you can sing. Do a cappella now. So he responded with an a cappella of his voice without any mic, without anything. And he's got a voice. So, and of
Hell
course,
yeah, that's the way you silence the bitch ass haters.
exactly. And
I
usually,
would-
That's whew.
I would
like-
sing acapella, and then like while singing acapella, I'd be like flipping the fucker off like this.
and I've done a few of those replies. And usually when you reply to those people, usually they'll just be quiet.
Yep.
When you clap back. Some will reply and say, you know, okay, whatever. But most are just like quiet.
Well played, sir.
A
Well played.
video reply.
Touche.
Touche.
But yeah, Kuya, check out TikTok because there's something for everyone.
We'll see.
It's more than just the dancing trends or the the stupid stuff. There's something you can look for recipes. You can look for travel. If you want to go to comedy, there's film.
I saw a couple
music.
of the recipes. I don't fucking trust it at all. So
Well, there's a bunch.
somebody made adobo without garlic or soy sauce, Mike.
Oh well,
Yeah.
That's why you need to get a TikTok and reply to that shit and say, no, that's a travesty. This is how you make adobo.
Yeah. Like I am sad. I am hurt. I'm deeply hurt when I found out about that.
Oh shit.
So, but it's okay. Like we'll see. I'm still having fun with the sad face filter on fucking Snapchat.
Oh god.
That's like my favorite one right now. So like when I was taking pictures of my parents and all that stuff, and I was like, oh here, and then it's like smile, guys. Oh, we are smiling. And then when I took a picture and the filter was there, and they're like, why are we sad? So it was just funny.
Wow.
But like I'm a freaking like 5-year-old when it comes to shit like that, so it's fun.
Then TikTok would fit perfectly for you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Neat.
Alrighty. Thank you guys for listening or watching. We appreciate you. Stay safe out there. Take care, y'all. Till next time, may the force be with you. See
And with
ya.
your spirit. Bye bye.